Good day, good evening, good afternoon, good night, and welcome to the Middle Sunday Holy Brunch live from Realz Tennis Fans. And before we go any further, let us remember the fallen heroes of our Wimbledon 2018. Well, the most notable ones. I mean, because you know what? Some of these people, I didn't even know they were seated. But let us not forget, let's do the ladies first. We have Simona, Bye Bye, Wozniacki, Muguruza, Sloane, Vidalina, Garcia, oh, Venus. We have Madison Keys, Osaka, Coconut, but she won't be missed. We have Kala. We have Radvanska, I guess. Strikova. And I guess since we're in church and we gotta recognize the devil, Maria Sharapova is not here anymore. On the men's side, we got Chilich, we got Zverev. Unfortunately, Del Potro is still here. We have Dimitrov. We have Dominic Thiem, Goffin, Sam Querrey, Nick Kyrgios, Diego. Oh, Pona Chorich is not here for a Sunday brunch. Luca Pui, Fonini, Jack Sock, Mabu PCB, Richard Gasquet. We got Denis Shapovalov, whatever his name is. We have Vedasco, and we have Gasquet. Oh, and Janina's boo, side boo, Cole Schreiber. They were here.
And Stan.
Oh, but he wasn't seated, girl. No,
But he was
not
a
about.
dark,
This is not
but
that
he
kind
was
of
a
show.
dark horse.
Girl, I was gonna say something naughty about Donna Vekic and Seed and Stanley, but I was like, you know what? Today's Sunday, and I won't.
The Saints are marching home.
Yes, they are
We're
going
sending them
home.
home.
Yes, unless you're playing mixed doubles or doubles. Unless you're playing mixed doubles, because we all know the men don't play doubles. The top men.
And we will continue to pray for your souls.
Yes, the Beatrice is here praying for the lost souls.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Send them home on a safe journey, Lord. Send them home on a safe journey.
Yes. And you know what? Unfortunately, most of them, I'm not really missing them. But before I go any further, let me introduce my co-hostesses at this wonderful Sunday Holy Brunch. We have Andreen from Solely Tennis Travel. How are you, girl?
Hello, I'm good.
Are you enjoying the meal?
I'm enjoying a healthy meal this morning. Just tea for now. I know, it's sad. Can't show up to Sunday brunch without my appetite, but you know, what are you gonna do?
I wonder. And next up we have, and before we go any further, we have Janina from Far in Ohio. I'm surprised you even know what Sunday brunch is, Janina. They have that at Internet Church?
Cut the shit. you got me cussing up in.
Okay, we got views. And of course, the homosexual of the podcast is here. And, you know, I'm excited because we got some gay news to announce and talk about. I'm always excited for that.
Gay
but
news.
We can't go any further. Introduce our other half co-host. This is and co-host. We have our Tony and Master Ace and Nectar. They're already in the group. Though many more are listening. For the secret fans, we always say hello to you. Hey, Boots. We got DJ Sama already here. We got Bugwandis. I hope I'm saying that right. Or Bugwandi. So, Strokes of Genius is on BBC in 20 minutes. But guess who won't be watching that? I'm telling you, who won't be watching that in 20 minutes.
We're gonna be right here.
Right here discussing Sunday.
That watch it later. We will do God's work on that later in another episode.
Sister Beatrice, calm down, Sister Beatrice. You know, once you get on a roll, we can't take the mic away from you. We cannot. Apparently, last week people suspected I was drunk. I'm a little concerned because I didn't drink any wine last week. I didn't, so I'm making sure I'm only touching water today. The holy water to keep real calm today.
Oh, that's funny.
Apparently, he's a mess when the sun goes down. He's a mess for the high holy brunch. So, ladies, our introduction, as we mentioned, there are many seats. And, you know, there's a lot of talk about, you know, the women being decimated. Because apparently people can only see women. They can't see the men. And as my co-host, Andreen, pointed out, she said, you know, Don't come off a sexist reel because this is a feminist podcast. So make sure you talk about the men field being decimated, and it is true. So numbers don't lie. As I take a word from the Nole fam, I did some crude, no graphs, no pictures, just some addition, just simple subtraction addition, simple math here. So as you know, there are 32 seeds. So this year it would be less next year. And by the round of 16, if seeds proceed by the follow through number, 16 would be gone, right? No matter however you slice it. 16 seeds would be gone by the round of 16. And on the men's side, so far through 3 rounds, 22 seeds are gone. And on the women's side, 25 seeds are gone.
Oh, Jesus. Strong enough. Oh, God.
So if we go by quality in terms of the seeding, on the men's side, if we were to consider this being the top 16, right? So if it were the top 16 seeds, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 men would be here, of which 5 are in the top 10. And on the women's side, you would only have 5 players in the top 16 seeds, so far 5, and only 1 in the top 10, number 7 seed. So we basically have parity here. I mean, there is no real, unless we talk about the quality of the seeding, right? The number 8 seed is here. There's only 1 in the top 10 on the women's side, but on the men's side, you have 5 within the top 10 seeded here still. And if you want to get kind of technical, maybe it's 26 seeds are gone because technically Serena not really a seed, but then Sabulkova is here, so it's the same thing. So it doesn't really matter. So you have 25 seeds on the women's side gone as being dispersed, and 22 on the men's side. And though technically 16 should have been gone by now. So what is the big deal, ladies and gentlemen out in the audience? What is the big deal people talk about? Oh, the women feel being decimated, blah, 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 blah.
I think it's just name recognition. I think it's name recognition.
Yeah.
I'll have to be honest. I think
that's a lot of it.
I think it's just because you recognize more women in the game. I know that's embarrassing for the vet to say, but it's really true. And so when you hear of a recognizable name going away, it feels like a decimation of the seeds, right? But if you look at it just in terms of pure numbers, there's really not that much difference.
Right. And also, one thing that's never factored into the conversation is just can these players really play on grass? Can they? Are they really?
I'm kind of loving
grass. Is grass really their specialty? Because coming into this tournament, Donna Vekic isn't seeded, but she has been playing clean grass. She's been playing solid grass court tennis, so it isn't surprising that she's in the second week. Wozniacki, I think, didn't even show up at any tournament. I showed up at one and lost early.
No, she won.
She won?
Yeah, but she's not really known for doing well at Wimbledon anyway.
Exactly.
So that's also unusual for her to be expected. I think what you're seeing in a weird way is kind of like the benefit of the parity in the women's side, because what you have are a lot of women who have done really big things other places, right? And because that's spread around so much on the WTA side, when they lose, it feels like, oh my God, this is a mess. And when you look at the men's side, you notice the people who are consistently winning are still here. But they don't have as many people winning. So the loss of that seed, those seeds aren't as shocking because nobody thought they would be winning anyway. I mean, realistically, I guess the only real shocker on the men's side, even though they've lost just as many seeds, is really Cilic.
Right. I mean, honestly, God, when you look at the final 16 on the women's side, it's just like, this isn't really surprising. These are good players. These are not like, oh, what the fuck is happening here? Like, someone just rolled out of midnight and just, jumped into the second week of Wimbledon. And on the men's side, I feel the same way as well. People played competitive matches, people played solid tennis. And I just feel like if somehow, that's what I keep not understanding the conversation. It's almost as if being seeded is a guarantee you're going to get into the next week or you're going to progress. Like the seeding means nothing. You're still a player, you're still a human. And you still have to go out there and win best of 2 sets and best of 3 sets, best of 5 sets. So that is being lost in the entire conversation.
But also transitioning. I mean, I think one of the things is it's also transitioning from clay to grass, which is really difficult for a lot of people. I mean, I know because the top people do it seemingly easily. Everyone takes it for granted, but that transition is still difficult. And some people are just naturally better on this surface. So I quite like the fact that we're beginning to see people who are probably just better on grass thriving, as opposed to going, oh well, you won last week on clay, so you should stick around. I kind of like it. I've always loved. I like specialists, so.
Well, Bug One, this is saying grass isn't heavily enough for ranking, for factor into ranking. So I'm, in my opinion, about the formula. Yeah, there might be something wrong with the formula per se. And I mean, like,
well, remember the formula is, that's why if you're going to really evaluate seedings holding, you only evaluate it on the ATP side, because remember, the ATP is the only one that has a grass court formula. The WTA does not. So if you see seeds falling in some ways and people talk about it more on the WTA side, remember the WTA only goes by the established seeding. It doesn't do a special grass formula. So if they had done a special grass formula, you could probably make a case for that and go, oh, well, they put this person up here. I mean, the only person who was able to get a bump was Serena, right?
Yeah, I think
that's
pretty
it.
much, yeah.
That's it.
but let's look at the bigger insight, like, like, that isn't fair to say our point at being almost the same thing by saying that 9 of the 10 ladies of the top 10 are out. But I mean, let's be honest here. Y'all know Simona lacks motivation, and she could lose to one person first round of any match and also win it. So none of these things are really surprising. I mean, I would say Muguruza, but after Muguruza won the French Open, she barely could win 2 matches string together until like Wimbledon.
I'll be honest,
the very next year.
The only big surprise, similar to the men's side, for me is really Petra. So for me, Petra is on par with Cilic losing, because people had.
Yeah, I can see that, but also I could counter that by being this is Petra.
No, Petra usually generally feels pretty comfortable on grass.
Didn't she? She was sick.
That's supposedly the thing. Supposedly Petra was not feeling well. And you know what? Let's be honest. Can we talk about the fact that I do think isn't something going around in Wimbledon?
Something about players being sick, but they're not really talking.
They're not talking about it. We know that Sasha said he was throwing up. Tiafoe apparently threw up at his match, and then we also have heard that and Petkovic said she's sick in bed as well. So, like, there's a flu going or something happening.
They got some bad cream and strawberries.
It's also very hot in Europe.
Spoiled milk.
Is it hot in Europe? Because I know I'm watching the Tour de France, and they're quoting some temperature-wise, and I'm just like, the fuck are y'all? Like, this is Sahara in France right about now.
Like, I like for people to talk about whatever weird ailment is happening where people are. It's so funny because when ailments happen elsewhere, people talk about it and they use it to evaluate players' performance. But here, I've not heard any of it.
Right, and I mean, and to me, like, I
think
Sloane going out. I mean, like, but what people forget is that the other opponent played better tennis.
Well, no, I mean, that's
except Venus. I just, I can't even get into that right now. Sister Venus. But I mean, Madison Keys was messing up. Madison Keys was messy, so you can't blame Rodina for grabbing hold of that opportunity.
Madison admitted to being messy.
Exactly. Y'all know how Svitolina does when she gets to a major. I mean, Garcia's hit or miss. Y'all know Muggs. Y'all know Muggs doesn't defend titles. So, I mean, and Simona said publicly, I have no more goals for the year. I won the French and I'm done. I'm good.
Love it. She said that.
Her goal is the Olympics.
Then my next goal is the Olympics. You see, that's my only. She's like, I have no more goals for myself for this year or even next year.
Stop.
All I want to do is win a gold for Romania.
We should move on.
We may need to stop and pray for Simona.
Well, your good friend Maddie Fish and I said Maddie Fish, Sam Go, and what's the other girl name? Renee Stubbs. Maybe. Renee was just like, English ain't her first language. Motherfucker, when the players will tell you the truth and it don't fit your narrative, it can't be English is not their first language. You know what? You can ask them in Romania because there's a whole bunch of Romanian people in the same room with you. You can ask them can she say it in Romanian and tell me if what she's saying is what she's saying? It isn't hard. She's basically telling you, perfectly constructed English sentence, I have no more goals until the Olympics. No more pressure, no more focus.
Whatever.
Okay, so the other,
Kevin, we don't retire people here. We don't do that. This is the Lord's house. We do not retire
who
people.
wants to be retired?
Stop it.
Well, the other, let me just say, could I say the other upset that I think is somewhat justifiable and should be really talked about is Grigor losing to Stan. Because
the
yeah.
one that I said was laughed at me.
we laughed at
That
you,
one?
but then did you see immediately?
Wait. Sister Beatrice.
Fabiano.
No. Sister Andreen. Andreen, I think Sister Beatrice is trying to tell a lie here because Sister
she said that Stan was back, and that Grigor was going to go down. But I said that Grigor should have won that match because he was in a better position. And you know what? It's true because Fabiano came out and beat Stan in 3 sets. So
Grigor lost that match.
Grigor lost that match. He was up a break in both sets and lost it. Because all Stan needed to do was just, power.
Stick around.
Yeah, just stick around. Because Grigor, I mean, my God, what's happening to Grigor? Does he have a serve anymore? What's going on? He never had a serve, I guess. But man.
Chad, why are you mad because Tevin said Keys is canceled? Like she should be canceled. She canceled herself out every match. She locked herself out of every match. I mean, what are you talking about? Like, why are you mad at Tevin? He's watching.
No. He's mad. He's mad because Tevin said Venus should retire. I think.
Wait. Okay. Well, okay. Let's insert here for a second. Let's talk about Venus and Venus's loss. Let's just have at it so that we can move on.
Okay. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
First and foremost,
let's talk about Venus's loss. Okay.
People can't be mad when Venus, true fans, are mad when Venus loses because we've been through everything, hell and back. Okay, so people out here, you just come to the sport talking about showgrams. We don't care. We just want Venus to win every time, and we would suck and take our losses, go and cry, and then come back the next time she's playing because we're gonna be fully invested in that match. Just like we were in the last time. We don't care. It's just how we operate. We're not bitter. We're just trying to deal with our emotions because Venus ain't paying the hospital bills. So we are allowed to be mad when she get these slow, fucked up starts. But we would not want her to retire. We're not here for her to retire at all. Nope, because you know what? She's still in the top 10. And I'm just saying.
Right? Like who says a top 10 retire? Come on, Tevin.
I'm just saying, some of y'all favor, hey, we are crying for, ain't doing shit.
Although I will introduce, I think Bridge P wrote a really nice piece about this question of Venus and Venus's schedule. Because the question was asked of Venus, why doesn't she play the grass season here? And she says she usually wants to be home. But my question is, and I guess in the question Bridge P asked is, what about skipping the clay season? And then staying home during clay and then coming here and really performing on grass. It's the best surface for her game. Why wouldn't you do that? Why do the whole clay when you could just easily flip and come, and come later to Europe and be Eastbourne or wherever and
makes sense.
Have a nice grass season.
She's old enough, so she's 38. She deserves to have a very manage and pick where she wants to go. She don't have to go out there running around the tour like everybody else, and not like she's doing well on clay. So that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, I mean that's the question I ask is like, why not do it there? Because it just seems like she could have won that match. She was up a break in the third. And
only two. Yeah, and she should have managed herself better.
A little bit. And you know what? I mean, yes, and Kiki did play out of her head because she really could see her opportunity. But Kiki's not that solid on the surface. And you would have been able to trust Venus on the surface, no? So I don't know. I mean, I think it's interesting that she takks a break for the clay. I mean, after the clay. And
Chad said he thinks some wins on clay helps her grass. No, boo.
I mean, I think that's what she said. But everyone has to pick their schedule.
Girl, you got money. You can buy a clay court and put it in your backyard. Okay? You can buy a clay court and put it in your backyard if you want to play on some dirt for a little while. Get out of here with this man.
No, we're not retiring Venus. I just do think. I do think that Venus could think about whether her scheduling is the best for her, and also voices on the team. Because we've read interviews with David Witt. He says Venus is very stubborn. She doesn't change. She doesn't want to change anything.
That is true.
She doesn't want to risk anything.
apparently she don't want to change him either because sometimes if she ain't listening to you, why you sitting down there? I guess you're like collecting a check. Because,
Well, I mean, they're there to support.
But she's 30. But I mean, then again, you know what? And again, but you see, the other problem is that Venus keep playing 2 matches in a 1 match. Like the first half, she's out there fighting really hard in the first set. Like, you're 38, you're smart. Cut your losses. Just you know what? Girl, take this to the love, whatever you want to do. Let me just try to keep it cute and get myself going. Oh, Venus, how about this? How about you go play a set of tennis before you get on court with David Witt and then roll up and then the real match start when the real match starts? Because to me, it's like, what is these first set fuckery? Like, yo, what are we doing out here?
Oh, she just had a slow start year. Which we knew.
Every match. Like,
But
none of the matches
called
came
it
on
last
popping.
year.
We said last year that it was going to be really difficult.
Because she had such a good year.
Yes.
True, it's true. And you know what? And I'm kind of glad she lost because you know she was going to roll up in here come tomorrow and go down in straight set, right? Looking like...
Shut up.
Nobody's happy someone loses if they're going to lose the next round. Nobody cares.
Why is he even telling these lies?
Yes. I am liar.
Stop lying at church.
Because I am not on here to see Venus being embarrassed.
Accomplice. You don't want Venus losing the accomplice. I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit more of a decent loss than losing to Kiki, who can barely
I'm just saying.
generally struggles on the surface. No, we're not retiring Venus, but you know,
I'm surprised but she's here. That is the real surprise. That of all the seeds who survive into the second week,
That
Kaprizova is the one who's here. She should have been sent home. Someone just got nervous and deal, and she was just like, "Wait, you're gonna let me stick around? You know what? Let me keep going. Which match was it? Because I was just like, she's going home today.
I thought it was was that
Bazunescu, the girl you said was at the French Open, and I'm just like, she was not there.
Yeah, she was. Bazunescu, she let her off the hook. She should.
Bazunescu was in her face in the first set. There was just no let up. No let up from Bazunescu. Then all of a sudden,
wait a minute. Hold up. Chaz, talk about we can move on from Venus. It's who is that? Candy says it's time. You know what? Listen, this is our podcast.
First of all,
no, I think wait. I don't think he meant move on. I think he meant move on, like move on agenda wise. I'm sure.
Chad, so we can talk about Serena when you're a real true Serena stan. Don't even try me, stan. I'll call you out in public. Okay? I see you posting all those pictures from Serena's Instagram page, from Alex's Instagram page, from what's the baby's name? Olympia or whatever, Junior, from Junior's Instagram page. Yeah, Chad, don't even try it.
Okay,
we would stand on Venus, however we want to say, because you know what? We are the true Venus stan. we don't be secretly wishing for Serena to beat Venus at any time whenever they play. We are in it 100%. Never. And let us believe, and we know the real true thing is that Serena got 23 because Venus let her have 23. But you know what? We ain't got time for that discussion.
I can't with you, Realz. You're a mess.
Okay, now we could move on. Blasphemy, Tony. This is the gospel truth. Okay, this is like commandment coming down from God. Okay, let's talk about that.
23 slabs because of Venus. Thank you. I can't. I don't even understand this.
You know what? Because Venus let her have 23.
Oh, you're a mess.
And Venus, and not only those finals that she lost, Venus helped her took care of some of her peoples. Jennifer Capriati.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Those people in check, right?
Y'all, I'll stop.
All right, move on, please. Mm-hmm. You've now got him all up in his feelings. Sister Beatrice might need to be summoned out of here.
They're talking about sexuality and morality, and I don't know why. When she's over here lusting after Cole Schreiber, like a certain reporter. But we won't get into that, though.
All right. Now,
moving on to the other ladies. So, who is your surprise in the top 16 for the ladies here so far? Who surprised you most?
Gosh. There's
Bencic. Wow. I have to say Bencic.
Yes. I have to give Bencic
I'm pleasantly surprised. You know what? I'm really hoping Bencic learned her lesson from Hopman Cup, which we'll talk about being canceled at some point. because they had a really nice match at Hopman Cup, but Bencic lost her way. So I'm really curious to see how she does against Kerber on the grass.
You're at Bencic, then like, I don't know. There's people here I've never even heard of.
You know what? Once the draw broke open, I mean, yeah, I guess I'm supposed to be surprised by Van Oeten, whatever her name is.
No, but she's got to the
whatever
quarterfinal.
her
The French.
name
She's played. It's been literally illness.
That's the French.
But I'm surprised by Bencic because I didn't think that, you know what, I thought Bencic might go out to Carla just because, you know, Bencic is just coming back.
Well, did I?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You know, she's just coming back and
Oh, I ain't salty. I am telling the truth. Okay, we're done with this, okay? Real said what he said, and it is the truth.
He said
Y'all
what he
gotta
said.
come with an essay in order to tell me that I'm wrong.
I said what I said.
All right, Venus fan. We got to move on. She's not here.
But Serena is.
Exactly. Ready to get 24. So who else? So go ahead. That's my surprise.
I think Vekic, you know, like she's playing solid and she's like she's getting out from underneath, you know, being Stanley, Mrs. Stanley, and she's serious about her tennis game. At least in this season, she seems to enjoy playing on the grass. I'm pleasantly surprised by her, and she's looking very confident. I do think Bencic as well, because Carla was just like, you know what, girl, I ain't ready to go home yet. And I'm going to try to make you. Because, you know, Carla is that kind of girl, right? Carla just like, sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes I don't. So, you know, yesterday, Carla was just like, you know what, girl, take the first set, whatever. The second set, Carla was like, oh, I could play tennis. Let me show you how I can play tennis. But Bencic really stuck into it. And I think they were in straight sets, right? If I'm not mistaken. Because they kept breaking back and forth, and she held serve. But Unvang, you know, Kerber, Kastakina, no. And as for Sue, she, whatever her name is, how to pronounce it, you know. First of all, girl, we're not talking about Kit, but you know, you joined Adidas and you look like a mess now. When you were doing your own little thing, you look cute. It was individual, it was sexy, no one could come for your style. Then this, whatever that is. But she's very good at sniffing out when there's fear and blood in the water. She's like a shark. She don't care who you are. As soon as you give this girl a little inch, she's gonna be all over that match. And she smelled that Halep was, you know, didn't really care, and she was like, you know what? Let me take you out of your misery, girl, and let me get some full run money. So that's not really surprising to me. Someone mentioned Cibulkova in here, but Cibulkova is a really solid player. Man, she's not gonna lose a match. You have to win the match from her, particularly if she's healthy. So her being here is no surprise. And Tevin, whoever Tevin is.
What about for Janina, Realz? Can Janina tell us her surprise?
Does Janina watch women's tennis?
No. Shut your mouth.
Janina exposed.
No, Janina. She just said she didn't even know half of these people. So
I mean, aren't you surprised by Camilla showing up? I mean, Camilla is known for playing.
Yes, I was going to say that I was surprised that she was there. I'm surprised. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, there's lots. There's who is this Sankovic?
Sasnovic.
Who is she?
She beat
Who's
Petra.
that?
She's taking over for Vika.
What's happening?
Until Vika get her life together.
Yeah, she's the Belarusian that's basically going to show us that Belarus is still mattering.
Yeah, so y'all know that Vika has never beaten Petra, right? Ever, right? So Vika calling her favor from her homegirl. You're just like, look, here's why. Could you handle my homegirl for me, please? Could you handle this girl for me, please? So Sasnovic was just like, oh, I took out Petra, which means ain't nobody up in here, but you know, so let me see how far I can go. So, I mean, Taylor lost that match. I don't know why. Taylor could have been far more competitive, but
I know.
She's not about that life, apparently.
Yeah,
she's just here for that first round money.
No, I was expecting a little bit more from Taylor.
So,
she had a wide open draw that she should have taken advantage of.
And I don't know why you keep saying that Azarenka has never beaten Petra, because that
has she?
Yes.
When?
She beat her in the Canadian Masters in 2015.
2015.
She has a losing record, though.
Yeah, I mean, 4-3. That's not
4-3
now.
Really?
Yeah, that's not that bad.
Oh,
Yeah, remember they
I'm
used
sorry.
to have really competitive matches. I think the big year they had I mean, yes, in the year when they were really on solid, which is the 2011 year, that was the magic year for Vika. Yeah, Petra had her number, but
Okay.
yeah,
That's why I'm
that was
probably
the
getting
year.
confused by. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
cool.
sorry.
No,
I honestly thought that she was like, because at one point, it's probably remember in 2011 when tennis was invented.
yeah,
she was
they
the
were
only
really
left-handed player she's never beaten.
it was brutal.
She has a winning record against all left-handers except Petra. Oh, so Vika, I'm lying on your name. I'm sorry, girl.
All right.
Apparently, she's still in the mixed doubles.
Yes, she's playing mixed doubles with Murray. With the lesser Murray.
Vika is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mazarenka.
I like that.
Girl, and Jack Sock and Sloan are playing the mixed doubles together. I was just
whatever.
And, and so is Fidolina. Fidolina's still around.
With my hood. I mean, like, girl, you know what? Get your major wherever you can, okay? Nobody could take that away from you. You're a major winner with it. Mixed, double, or singles. It's still a major win.
Okay.
Take us through Real.
So, do we have anything else to say about the ladies?
Yes, we do. We need to talk about Sloane Stephens. What the fuck?
She was playing.
When is she?
She was still playing
porn shoots and focus on her tennis. Why didn't she play a warm up? Like, why? She didn't play a grass court warm up. She didn't play warm up tournament. She just thought she could waltz in there and play.
I don't know what her rationale is. Maybe like Venus, she wanted to be home.
She's not Venus.
Well,
she's not Venus. Venus, listen, let's take a moment. If Venus decides, you know what, I don't really want to play a warm-up tournament to grass, we might question it, but she has proven herself.
She never did
grass.
Anyway.
She can do it.
No, she's never done it. Mm-mm.
I think they only played it one time in 2011.
Yeah.
Sloane is a hot mess. Her last 5 majors, she has either gone out in the first round or found herself in a final.
Well, listen, I don't mind.
That's pretty extreme.
Well, I mean,
extreme.
You have a problem with that?
Exactly. It's kind of like a Petra, right? It's just like either you're on or you're off. Okay, there's no in between. It's like mugs.
No, but it was pretty bad though. It was a pretty bad match.
She had a serve. I swear to God, the
Candy
ball
said she was busy getting. Listen, Candy said she was busy getting the D. I want to know which D was she getting, because we know she has a history with sock, and now
No.
Stay focused, Sister Beatrice. My God, she still got the same.
I'm telling you, Sister Beatrice is here for morality and sex. She be checking people.
Twist. She might like it all.
I mean, let me tell you how the hot mess Sloane was. Sloane served the ball. The ball not the serve landed in the service box on her side. On her side. Okay? She didn't even get to the net. Let me
tell you, Sloane looked confused. She looked confused. I was like, wait, Sloane, you do know that you're playing grass court tennis.
I mean, that was the second serve. I mean, I know second serve is like weak. But I think the first serve went way wide. She went off the court completely. Yes. And then she went in her own service box on her side. I was like, you didn't care. I have to say the weave looked good though. I mean, so all right. But, I mean, like, I don't know. She's not.
I know people want her to be more killer instinct, but she seems to have found the sweet spot for her, which is I'm going to be on or off, and I'm just going to
be mediocre.
Maybe, maybe I know.
She's not ready to deal with all of because I mean, like, maybe also she was never seen as tennis prodigy. You know what I mean? Like, she's never seen it. Like, she's going to dominate. She's a solid player, etc., etc. And sometimes you feel like it, sometimes you don't. So good for her. I just wish she don't feel that way when she see Venus.
Well, she was ready for that one.
I'm telling you,
match ready.
Venus could have snatched that from Madison Keys last year. But...
Okay, can we talk a little bit about So can we talk about Serena and how Serena has looked?
Yes, I think that's fair because Serena is a dead-on favorite here
at this point. I think the draw has. I mean, not that she needed to worry about the draw, but it has sort of parted like the Red Sea, as one would say.
No, typically
Listen.
Serena always lose to unseeded players, right? Those are what she should be, Serena. But not in the second week, though. In the second week, she's ready. But I mean, she looked good. I mean, like, except the first match when she was wearing, I guess it's stockings. I can't say pantyhose. People might get upset when she was
She's
wearing
compression
stockings.
stockings.
But apparently, as people pointed out to me, they are compression stockings just for the first match. But she looked very solid. So she's serving well. She's correcting herself, and she's being competitive. You know, the fire, whatever, is always there. But she looked good. She looked like Serena Bull somewhat.
I thought she was moving well.
She's looking better.
I thought she really handled the Kiki match well. Like, you know, just dialed in. I mean, Kiki, let's be honest, Kiki fell and didn't really do well when she was trying to serve out that first set.
But it's Kiki, so you know.
No, but Kiki. You know what? I knew that
Kiki was playing well.
Yeah, I knew that she would enjoy the moment. Like she was gonna enjoy going toe to toe with Serena in that setting, and Serena really handled it really well. So I mean, I can't imagine her losing track of herself in this Rodina match, but I think we should.
Rodina's gonna give a lot of junk though, but I think Serena is gonna find a way to. Rodina isn't gonna be able to blow off the court.
No.
So. And Rodina has been messy in and of herself.
And she's played a lot of long matches. So I think, but she will have had some rest. But as Serena says, they all bring their best game for her. I thought Serena's explanation of that in the press conference is something that people could take heart from. You know how people always say, you always bring your best against Serena or Venus or whomever. But I think that's a good interpretation. Did you guys listen to her interpretation of that?
She said it all. She's been saying that all the time.
No, but
what did she say?
This time around, she said, you know what? She used to be really upset by it when she would come out there. Because she said I thought it was really interesting that she said she can't even scout other people's matches because when she sees them, they play a different way when they're playing other folks. But when they show up for her, it's a whole different kind of tennis. Because they're coming with their best. And so she used to be really upset by that. But now she takes it as a kind of compliment. And now she knows that she's actually the best because she's beating them at their best.
Well, fair enough. Good. Because I thought Kiki was Kiki was playing some of her best tennis I've seen her play in a long time. And also, I think she's right about that because she used to be upset because she used to go like, especially with Cornet, she's just like, this bitch showing up here with the best fucking tennis and then punk out the next round. They be coming for me no matter whatever. This bitch don't understand. They didn't do shit before, but as soon as they see Serena, they be like, God damn it, I get on top of it. And nothing comes of it. But now she's
they
just
only
like,
do that when it's like asking for your ID or your birth certificate. They're like, I'm gonna bring my best, bitch. Can you handle it?
Show me who you are. Show me who you are.
No, because I don't remember if you remember that Bethany Maddox-Sands said the same thing when she was going up against Serena at the US Open, and she's like, I just want to bring my best. Like it was like, and then she's like, and then I can shake her hands afterwards. I was like, whatever, girl, but that's what it is. It's like, show me your ID. You belong here.
Listen, I think the ladies has forgotten this point, right? That back in the day, you used to get extra points for beating a top player.
For beating a top seed.
The same points you get for beating, number 500, a qualifier. It's the same points to get it.
No, but you get the street cred. But you get the street cred. That street cred is massive. When you beat a top seed, you don't get the same points anymore. You don't get those extra bonus points. I really actually think they should bring that back. Man, people would be ripping folks' hair out.
Because, I don't know about street cred because it's street credibility helping Cornet.
It does. You know what it does, but it goes on your resume. It
all
goes
people
on your
saying
resume.
in the next round when they see Cornet is just like, girl, thank you. Because this is a buy.
No, but it goes in your resume. Like it's important when you retire and people look at your head-to-head against like the GOAT. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Some people's whole career is
it ain't doing nothing for my pocketbook. It ain't doing nothing for my trophy case. And it certainly ain't doing shit for me. Just beating Roger Federer in round one and then going out to, I don't know.
Listen, but your name is in the books. You beat.
Yep.
Yeah, it's in the books.
Everybody
on.
Wants that.
Then Roger going to press conference and say some bullshit like, I was sick. I wasn't feeling well. And whatever some nonsense.
It doesn't
matter. A win is a win.
A win is a win, and your name is still in your name is still written down as having beaten this person at their favorite slam.
I know.
That's
Unless you're gonna
right.
do Thomas Johansson style, everything else is just a halfway point to me. Just half a point. Okay, boo. Good for you. Did Gabin choke?
No.
I don't think so. Van Umberg played really well, and she didn't allow Gabin to be like,
Garbine
I'm
is
gonna try to figure.
Garbine.
Well, Garbine was actually struggling a little bit. She was struggling against Naomi Brody. She kind of choked a little bit there in the second set. So maybe she was thinking
Garbine
about
just
it.
got her ass beat.
No, I mean, I don't know if you want to say she's choked. She might have gotten her ass beat, but I think maybe there was a lot of there's a lot of pressure on her because she's defending it and she really wanted to do well. And she had that really horrible loss at the French, where I think she would have been like, what the hell was that match? And tried to shake it off and came back here. So I don't know if it's like a clear choke, but I mean, she wasn't ready.
And I was just like, oh, okay, girl. I would say, but Gabin isn't the one to figure things out in a match, right? She is only gonna find her way out of the match if the other person start choking. And I think Allison wasn't here for any of that match. She was just like, you know what, girl, you ain't playing well. Let me just keep at it, and not let you get in there. But I don't know, but it's Gabin too. You know how she is. She's always like,
I don't know, but I feel like she usually readies herself for the grass.
And she's been here 2 times finalist, right?
Yeah, she would feel herself pretty comfortable on the surface.
So I gave me to him, but my real question is when she's gonna find Sam.
Okay, I thought that was gonna happen immediately.
You've been asking this for like a year. He's not.
Because from my opinion, she could do bad all by herself.
Everyone can.
She can, but
I think she likes them. She's a little bit of a
apparently she's doing the whole Stanley. She's the Stanley on the women's side. So watch out, U.S. Open. Watch out.
Maybe
she might be coming for the crown this time around.
She might peak
out of WTA final. Can we talk about how the ATP? Who?
Garbine.
What's the question?
She had a breakdown on court.
Well, I think she. This is not the first time she's behaving this way, is it? I'm sure there was some incidents.
No, but watch, I say.
Yeah, Sister Beatrice is here for the drama. She's here for the drama. And then she's gonna go and then call you out about it.
You better believe it.
Any questions from the audience out there about the ladies? It's Gerges still here. I'm surprised Gerges is still here. Good for her.
Gerges plays Vekic next. That should be interesting. I don't know who gets through that match.
That's gonna be cute.
Nobody.
Well, Gerges has a nice serve, so I'm gonna lean a little bit towards Gerges in that match.
Does I have a chance? No. Serena's in the second week. She's feeling good. Bye-bye. No, she don't have a chance. I don't know. Serena's feeling a little bit sad though about missing milestones with Olympia. So y'all better watch out.
Welcome to parenthood.
Thank you. I was about to say that, but you know I don't have no children. I don't want to say that. Parents are not there for every single minute, even if they stay at home. They're not. They're just not. So you know what? All right, Serena. Thank you.
Well, the last time Gerges met Vekic, it was 6-2, 6-2. But I think that was in
for Vekic or Gerges.
For Gerges.
How long ago?
It was it was round of 16 recently, Hungarian Open. So, but what was that? Was that grass?
The fuck is that?
Oh, that's clay. If it's Hungarian,
it was clay. So we don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that works.
And this is Donna's best major performance, no?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she just won a grass court title. I'm not gonna count her out.
Yeah, I don't really see Rodina. I mean, no, I just don't see that happening. I think Serena would have a worse time against Camila or Shafarova or something like that in the next round. Whoever gets
Patrick, you're late. What the fuck was up with the women's draw? We you're late.
Okay,
show up to church on time.
I know,
we already did that.
Patrick, you gotta sit in the back. You gotta sit in the back, Patrick.
You'll listen to that later.
Ushers will lead you to the side, okay?
Patrick, you know what? You got to put extra in the collection plate this week.
Okay, do we need to Do we need to do our final rounds and?
No, I think we do that at the very
For the
end.
women?
Okay.
At the very end.
Okay.
All
On the
right.
men's
All right.
side,
Let's talk about the fellas. God bless us all for
I'm
the
just saying
men.
the only thing I'm mad
Oh.
about is that Isna is still here.
Don't be
Delpo is
mad.
still here.
Don't be mad.
And maybe because I'm kind of a hater, Nadal and Novak are still here.
Don't be mad.
Nobody's. All right. So
Hold up. Before we move on, quick thought on Sharapova going out on the first round. We have said this before. We will say it again. I need the church to be quiet and listen up. Post Meldonium, Sharapova is mediocre at best. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Amen.
Moving on.
Maria's Holy Spirit isn't visiting anymore. Song the same. She had Holy Spirit in a bottle, and it's gone. On the men's side, yeah, I'm gonna say that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a solid tournament just on the women's side. For the men, I mean, like people are showing now. People are playing good grass court tennis. The courts are playing pretty well on the men. For everybody, I think people who are here deserve to be here.
Let's just say that Alex losing to Gobus, while unpleasant for Alex, is not a shock. Gobus, I'm not a Gobus fan. That doesn't get me
excited. But he's solid when he wants to be.
And he has played a bunch of grass court tennis already.
He's ready.
And he came to the quali.
Came to the quali.
I don't know why people are so shocked by that.
But that is the softest part of the draw for him to fall on. And that's the softest seed for him to encounter is Sasha. I mean, I think one thing we have to think about on the men's side, just overall in terms of thinking about ATP tennis right now, is you really have a combination of the solid guys who you expect to always be there and the young players who I think if the top four guys were gone, I think you would see a roller coaster ride on the men's side. That's just what you would have, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what it is because you know that of the top 10, aside from Federer, Rafa, everybody else is really soft, right? They're soft and they're vulnerable. So I don't think you can count on them necessarily to be here week in and week out.
Look at his section, my friend. Look at his section.
It's a soft draw. I mean, I know people get really pissy about it, but the parity on the men's side is weighted by the fact that you have the top two guys being really, really solid, and the rest are just all on the same level.
Yeah, and it's just a mixed bag.
And it's a mixed bag. Whereas on the women's side, it's traditionally just Serena, who's ahead of everybody else, and then the parities with everybody else. That's really the difference in the tour. At least that's how I've always characterized it. And so if you take out Rafa and Federer, it's a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, who would have expected Manarina to be in the second full round?
You could, because Manarina's solid on grass.
It's solid on grass, but I mean, like,
listen, remember, Manarina met Novak Djokovic last year, I believe it was, in the quarterfinal.
He was in the quarterfinal here last year?
Yes, Manarino went very far last year. He met Novak Djokovic, if I'm not mistaken. So, I wouldn't necessarily, So
Novak was in the semis last year?
Yes, he had to withdraw. He had to withdraw against Query, if I'm not mistaken. He withdrew with his shoulder injury. So Adrian Manarina can play on grass. I mean, I think what you're also seeing on the men's side are the people who can actually handle the surface.
True. People who are fit and ready. Because I knew when some of these men get to the fifth, that it was like, oh, this is going to be over because I'm not sure about fitness. I am not sure about fitness. As soon as I saw Jack and I saw that Sasha was there, I was just like, ooh. And also temperament, because I have to say in that match, was it
it was the fourth round. Actually, funny enough, last year Manarina played Djokovic in the round of 16 and he lost 3 sets, and then Djokovic retired the next match against I think Query.
Okay. That's fine. But I have to say on the men's side, I had a pretty good tournament as I'm enjoying the ladies' side too. So I'm happy Monfils is here. I want to be happy for Mackenzie, but he's an American man, so I'm not sure if I should be happy just yet. So
I think the one thing I've discovered about Mackenzie is I think or McDonald, they ask him some questions about, what are his outside interests, and he didn't really have anything to say, which I was like, you know what? Good on you. Say nothing.
Candy, what kind of thongs are you ordering? What is going on in the chat? Candy's ordering thongs, Uniqlo thongs. Candy, what are you doing, girl? This is church. This is church. We gotta stop and pray for Candy. My God, the devil is with us.
I love it.
But Candy,
we can move on.
It's Candy Alley. Candy Alley, is that your real name? Oh, that's like a stripper name.
Right?
Candy Alley
She
sounds like
go do some work after church.
Although, let's be fair, the men's draw has been pretty sleepy thus far.
I don't know. I'm enjoying some of the young people. I'm enjoying some of the people who are here. I'm happy Karen is here. In fact, I picked Karen and Novak, so I gotta give myself a little clap on the back. Be like, yeah, I got that right.
I had Verdasco coming little section. So let's talk a little bit about Tiafoe and what happened to Tiafoe, because this was a good chance for Tiafoe to get to that 4th round.
Oh, it was such a good chance.
And so,
again, we're hearing that he was sick.
He was sick.
So,
you know what's interesting? And I think, did you see, there was an article that Thank You Chad shared about, with Mary Carrillo, as always, running her mouth, but always appreciated. She talked about the fact that Tiafoe needed to be better at hiding the fact that he was distressed, because Karen used his distress to push himself forward, knowing that Tiafoe was having problems.
Which is what you're supposed to do.
Well, exactly. But you got to hide it. She was like, she wished he had a better poker face, that he was in distress.
Yeah.
Is that fair? Is that fair for people who are watching that match? Because I saw just.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what kind of distress he was in. Sometimes you can't. If you got a shit.
Candy said he had the bubble guts.
Yeah,
you got the bubble guts. You got to go.
I mean, let us not forget the great Serena had to run off court one time because she was like, "I gotta go, like right now, Let me just shoot out the court."
That's fine, but when you come back, you still got to be like fist bumping in their face. Like, I'm still here.
Look, I'm telling you, when you got the bubble gut, you're not thinking. You're thinking in second by second. You have to get yourself through every second. You can't be thinking about in 10 minutes time, because in 10 minutes shit could be. And you're wearing white. You're wearing white. You don't know if every fight it's gonna be a shot. I mean, come on now. I am surprised he didn't because there is no time for how long you could stay in the bathroom between sets. So after he lost that 3rd set, he shouldn't have been poker face. He should have just gone to shit out his entire latitude and be like, it is not. And he should have made a decision then, at least by the 4th set, and be like, nope, can't continue. But you know what? But I'm gonna give him credit to stay out there with a bubble gut and take a breadstick and be out there and still fight hard. I mean, like, he knew he gave it his all. So maybe next time around, once he's feeling better than, bubble gut, he can really go hard, because he was playing pretty well. And Karen is a solid player. And this is a good opportunity for both players. So I'm not mad at the result. I wish it would have been Tiafoe, but I'm not mad it's Karen. I can't be mad. It's a young person. So I'm all here for the youngins.
Yes, they did talk about, was he tanking, but we didn't say anything about Sasha Zverev maybe tanking. So again, we have this narrative surrounding our brown boys.
I don't think either of them were tanking. It clearly seemed like
they
both
weren't
of them were
tanking.
hampered in some way. I mean, I think I don't want to say tanking, because I think it was just an extraordinary match from one person's side.
But truth be told, Tiafoe has never won in 5 sets.
No,
but he's young though, and you don't have many opportunities in 5 sets.
He is young, but you have to wonder if that got in his head. Like, holy shit, I'm here again. Yeah. I never win this. Like, that had to be some factor on some level.
Well, if you're not feeling well as well, and if you're not feeling well,
Especially if
then
you're
you're
not
like,
feeling
oh my
well.
God, I'm not going to be able to survive it. I mean, it's always the worst though when you lose from 2 sets up. Oh,
Is it
Yeah, I
brutal.
think so too.
Brutal.
Dumbass.
It's brutal
Especially
when
that
that
time.
happens. You're like, because all you think to yourself, I just have to win one more set.
Right? And that might be part of the problem as well. You can't think ahead. We've heard that a million times. Like, you just got to be in the moment. So, hey, Luke.
I wish that he had been able to pull that out.
Well,
But you know
that's the
what?
thing. I mean, like, I guess as you get older, when he's in those moments, he should know, okay, then rest in the fourth set
Yeah.
and then go all out in the fifth, because this is how people know how to do it, right?
Yeah,
You
that's
just,
how people. That's certainly the Jack Sock model. I
the
mean,
moment he tries.
He usually loses in the fifth, but he does know how to rest in a set. So, and it's so interesting, right? Because if you were to think about that, people are always saying tanking, but people talk about strategically managing yourself in matches. Some people will be getting a reputation for tanking, but other people will be called strategic game management. But
Yeah.
that might be something to think about. Like, okay, I didn't do so well in the third. I lost my way. Maybe I'm reserving my energy, because by the fifth set he was done. But it's I think, you know, it's hard for me to really be that difficult on somebody, because if you're not really feeling well, fifth set must feel like hell.
Especially if you have bubble gut. This is not like a headache or like a muscle spasm or something. This is your gut about to embarrass you and betray you. It's just like, yeah, that's
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
give-
be him.
And I'm gonna give subpar points to Goffin. That's brutal. I mean, what's happening there. I mean,
Apparently he can't see, but I mean, I don't know.
What you mean
maybe-
he can't see? He
Are
can't
we
see with the
underestimate-
ball?
Are we underestimating the fact that Goffin is like not fully? Are you saying that Goffin's not fully recovered from that ball injury? You think?
Well,
His
he
results
got
have been
kind of
so
shitty,
poor?
but I wonder if the ATP isn't getting that WTA curse at the ATP at the finals, right? Where you do well at the finals and then want the next year.
No.
Out of, like,
Remember,
crash
he had
and
an
burn.
eye. He had an
Yeah,
eye
I know.
injury.
That's what I mean. Like, he
Yeah.
just had that curse, right? Him and Gregor, they're not doing well at all this year.
And I'm
When the
also
world-
going to give a thumbs down to Jeremy Chardy. What's the point of doing so well on grass and then coming to Wimbledon and losing to Chapeau? That's
Well, he's French, so I mean,
that's not. I mean, I'm just
Well,
upset
he's French,
I'm just upset for my draw, but I had Chardy doing really well,
I mean,
because it was a soft draw. I mean, you know, Shapovalov he's not tremendously solid.
if
on
Wimbledon
grass.
were in France, things might have been different. I don't think clay is the best surface for French people.
No, but I'm talking about
They-
Chardy. Chardy won a couple of grass court titles, did a nice long, a really good grass court prep, and then you come here and you lose in the first round. I mean, that's subpar.
Well, people
Do
need to
better.
manage their resources better, you know.
And Feliciano Lopez, how are you gonna go down so poorly to? I mean, I know Del Potro is strong, but Feliciano Lopez is a good grass court player. He can be really competitive. How are you gonna lose 6-1, 6-2 at the end? 6-4, 6-1, 6-2 against
To the
Delpo?
Muppet Voice.
I mean, at least 4 sets, dude. Even Delpo was shocked. He was like, "Oh, I didn't think this was gonna be this easy."
Right?
But I'll take it.
No.
No, I wanted Feliciano Lopez to do better. I mean, at least better.
I told you Feliciano Lopez came there for the plaque. He came there for the plaque only. He's like, wait, Janina has a plaque here? Let me see. Let me get one. Let me get my name up here. Okay? If you can get here by winning, you gotta get your name somehow away. So hey, he ain't interested in playing no $58 million match. So he decided, you know what? Let me just show up to work every day and I still get a plaque. No promotion, but I still get a plaque for being here on time every time. So hey, Feliciano Lopez, you look cute though. You still look cute. So that's all I can say.
Always.
You're being so generous to these dudes who are really faltering Realz.
Because you know what? Because you know what?
You be coming for these ladies who are like, what's happening? What's going on?
No, you know what? You know what?
But
Because
look at this subpar
let's be
dudes.
100 here. Let's be 100 here. The women will bring it. The women will bring it. When they need to, they will. The men are near, you're not gonna get more than Feliciano Lopez. You're not gonna get nothing. He's just
He can do better on grass. He can do better on grass.
Girl.
He won Queens.
His game was made for grass. He's a servant volleyer. That's what he does.
Come on. And you got that slice, and you're going up against Delpo
You know what?
with that slice.
And you know what? The devil was supposed to be in charge of the church choir in heaven, but you know what? The devil had other plans. Like, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in no song service, so I'm going to create hell up here.
The men's
So
failure
Lopez
to pop up is
look. We talk about the fact that the men respect rank, okay? Lopez is 30-something years old, and if he ain't trying to come
no
through,
rank. Delpo got no rank. I mean, yeah, Delpo doesn't have a rank, really.
but y'all know Delpo is about salty and trying to spoil somebody's fave up in here. Delpo has one mission: spoil somebody's fave.
It was just
and in order to do that, he gotta show up. He gotta be here.
It wasn't supposed to be Fifi.
Yeah. Even Feliciano Lopez admitted that in his presser that he played very poorly. That's a poor showing for him on a grass court surface. You got to at least take it to 4, 5 if you're going to try to do something.
I thought so too, but then you know why? As soon as I saw them, I was just like, all right. He's not interested in this match. Maybe he got doubles on the mind. I don't know because
Oh, get out.
What?
Delpo doesn't have a rank. Why? Tell me, somebody remind me again why Brother O is on that Delpo train still.
Because he's salty like Delpo. You know, they're haters. They're just haters.
Delpo's rank 5. I'm just saying that for that surface, for this, I was just teasing. I knew O was going to say something. No, Delpo's rank number 5.
I'm coming in just in time with Orlando now.
You know, O sits around. He's like, did I hear somebody say Delpo?
I'm telling you.
He's got radars that go off. Delpo.
I'm telling you. You can't find two people who are so alike.
No.
And Delpo.
No, I'm just being facetious. No, but I mean, really, I actually thought that was going to be a better match, and I'm a little bit surprised by that. So, but I wasn't surprised by that Nick.
I'm curious.
Can I tell you? You know, let me give you guys. You know, I love Nick Kyrgios. I love Nick Kyrgios through the thick and thin, the whole mess. He's,
I love it.
Through bottles squirting in your face, all of that.
But you know who loved Nick Kyrgios even more? Nishikori. Every time he sees him across the net, he's just like, "Thank you, Jesus." Yes. Yes.
You know what? That match gave me U.S. Open feelings when Federer knew that it was gonna rain in like 90 minutes, and he was playing what's Rafa's favorite boy, the Argentinian that retired.
Pico.
Pico.
Yes, Pico. Federer, they were like, it's gonna rain in 90 minutes. Federer got out of there in like 89 minutes.
It's true because Kay said that me and Nick was talking, and they were like, "We're not gonna finish this match." And then Kay was just like, "You know what? Let's see what we can do out here." He was just like, and here's the thing. Here's the thing you talk about. He managed his feelings about everything way better than Nick.
Yes, he did.
He managed everything. And you know what? Leone was trying to get this match done and over because he's just like, I am not staying here for another 5 fucking hour match. 3 days match. He was just like, people, stop. Just stop. Like, calm down, okay, people. He was constantly telling the crowd, like, the crowd wanted to clap for everything, and he would just like relax. Like, they even clapped for a ball boy roll something. Just like, he was just like, bitches. No, I gotta go. Okay, this is shit not gonna turn into a Mahout fucking Isna bullshit. We gotta be done today. We gotta try to get done today. Leone was just like, I'm gonna play. If we can do it by candlelight, this shit gonna be done today.
But guys, I've never
just like, don't worry, boo. Don't worry, I got you.
He played so well. He first of all, he was seeing Nick serve like it was Ronnie serve. He's like, I can return this. I can return this all day.
I think Nick knew early right from the jump that if he wasn't perfect, he was going to be a hot mess. He was already. So I think the stakes were way too high from the very beginning.
In his own mind, he was probably thinking about the fact that he had love 3 against Kay, and then he was thinking, if it goes long, then we're gonna play 2 days in a row.
Right, exactly. A lot of things
already
in his
too
mind.
much. And he said, from his presser, it's clear his mind was everywhere else besides what was happening
down the court. And Key was just like,
clinic. It was a K clinic.
I actually think that Leonie miscalled the score at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a point where it should have been game, and Leonie said 40-30. I'm almost sure 40-30 was already up there. It was the 6th point of the game. And even Leonie hesitated in calling the score. And that game, Key got broken. And Key was just like, it's okay. It's okay. No bother. Let me just go through this. It was such, the commentators I had was not John McEnroe, whatever piece of me. It was some English Australian dudes. And they were thoroughly impressed by Kay. They were just like, oh my God, this is like the best.
But here's the real question.
Ever played.
Did he peak too soon?
Well,
is the Lord going to be with him against Novak?
No.
I
don't know. He has to get robust first.
A halfway good with body, but you know what? Actually, he knows how to beat Novak anyway.
No, I think it's gonna be a long match. I think it's gonna be a battle. Like, I think the quarters is gonna be a real battle. If they both get there, I think if he continues to play well on grass and Novak is still like maybe 80% there. I mean, we can ask whether Novak is fully back, but no, I mean, I just so impressed by that match. I was in love with everything happening in it, and Kay played pretty tennis. And I mean, I love that Nick had no answer for Kay, which, I wouldn't necessarily enjoy. But, when someone's playing that good at tennis and it's not Federer on the other side, I have to.
You appreciate that, don't you?
I have to appreciate it.
Especially when he's not in his half. You gotta be like, yes.
Oh my goodness
But
gracious.
someone who follows me, Anna Massai, she said something that I was rather interested. She said that when it comes to Nick generates his power by just his hand. He doesn't develop his core. And I was just like, you know what? Nick does look soft in the tummy. Because when I see, Kay lift up his shirt, and I was just like, girl, we can wash our clothes on that stomach.
Well, Kay's shorter. You got to do more. You got to do more to be ready. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, yeah.
Nick, because a lot of the time Nick's shot wouldn't even get over the net. It's just like, what are you doing? Like, you're just hitting on your ball, even landing in your side of the court.
And he didn't seem like he was hitting with sense. I will have to say that. He didn't look like he just looked like he was hitting. He didn't seem like he
sometimes
knew
he was
where he was
thinking,
doing.
sometimes he wasn't thinking at all, and it was just a very mixed bag result out there, whatever you can. But he does need a proper coach to probably teach him how to probably move his body and get the power from his core, because that's gonna fuck up your elbow.
Yeah.
You're already too tall already to begin with.
That's probably part of it.
It's gonna be no wonder y'all are injured so often, because y'all body are not prepared for the amount of force and torque y'all are trying to do, and you can't do that with your arm alone, boo. You gotta get power from your legs, come on up in your core, and go hit through. Top men have big legs. None of them are skinny.
Yeah,
none of them are skinny. Skinny legs. So Nick, you need to get on that, boo, if you want to survive. Not like Marion said that you don't have good work ethic. You just don't have good technique.
Is it time to talk about that?
Well, no, we haven't talked about the section and whatever the case may be.
And also, congratulations to Monfils making it to Wimbledon second week for the first time in forever.
I'm excited by this, actually.
And
really
he is channeling Wakanda. Y'all better watch out.
do whatever.
But when do whatever you need to do.
If you come for Fed in the quarters, we're gonna have to talk about this Wakanda.
Listen, if you come for Fed in the quarters and you win,
you better win.
If he comes for Fed in the quarters and he wins, he better raise that trophy. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all we say about you, Monfils. You can't be doing that shit.
We gotta take away. We gotta take away the herb. We gotta take away the spirit.
If you're gonna do God's work, you better go all the way.
All the way.
Because I'm not here for Monfils beating Federer and Punk out against Novak and David out. I'm just not here for that mess. I'm going to
It's beyond that. It's beyond that. You beat Federer in the quarters. You better make sure you don't lose to Raonic or Isner in the semis.
Who's team toothpick? Oh, I get what you're saying, Candy Alley. You're right. I mean, a lot of these men have just like, have you seen Simone? I mean, the commentators, since I've known Simone, there's one thing I know about Simone. The commentators call him chicken legs. And if you can spot that Simone legs are far skinnier than most of the skinny legs I see there, I swear to God, a motherfucker's like a toothpick in some sausages. That's what I imagine his
His
legs.
legs are so skinny.
I never judge his fitness though, because he can stay out there for a long
Yes, I
time.
never judge his fitness.
Do
he's
not,
gonna come.
do not count him out.
Not at all.
I am not sure. I don't know who comes out of that match. I really don't know.
Comes out of which match?
Simone
and Delpo. And Simone has a very good record. He knows how to Delpo plays like a Chilich. And Simone has a good record against Chilich, so he knows what to do with these big serving tall dudes.
Yeah, like I'm not calling that match because Delpo, I mean Simone is tricky.
And I think Rafa might have a little bit of trouble with a big server Viseli. So
you think?
That.
You think Viseli gets a set?
When's the last time Rafa got this far?
Although, to be honest, Del Potro took out Simone just recently in Stuttgart.
This is 5 sets. We know Simone likes them long, grinding matches.
He will be bringing his knives. He'll be prepared. He will. 6 love in the third, but no, we'll see. I mean, I don't. Maybe 4 sets. Maybe 4 sets.
I'm prepared for it to go 5.
I mean, I would love it, but we'll see.
I don't know. Why are you surprised Simone is still playing? I don't know why anybody is surprised by this. I really don't.
What do you mean? Playing period?
What Patrick says that he's surprised that he's still playing. Like, why? I mean, I know
in terms of like
in what, like this tournament or in his career? What do you mean?
Simone is just he sticks around. He's had some breakout years. He probably.
I mean, why are we talking about Simone? My question is, why is Julian Bennett's still in the draw? I mean, didn't he retire 2 years ago? That a whole ceremony.
No, this is his last Wimbledon. They retire and then they tell you that they're doing their last slams. So this is their last series. So his last friendship.
Yeah, this is his swan song.
Yeah. Later, and they're also trying to get him to be a lucky loser and get into some tournament somehow.
Like Safin did. You know how Safin did his last thing, and had a party every place? So this is probably what Benetto's doing.
Wait, Benetto's not still in?
No, I mean, like he's still participating in the tournament. Like he's still here. He's still in the draw. He was in the draw. He didn't.
No, Tony, we're not crazy. Not on that sense. He's not still playing.
Yeah.
So
okay.
And we gotta see.
Did you watch that?
Here.
Good run for Stefanos. Stefanos is going up against Isner. That's interesting. That's good. I don't know.
John Isner is acting like a fucking baby brat. Why do I have to believe that call? Dude.
Nobody trusts
because them the rules, boy.
I don't know why y'all even watch John Isner matches. I don't know. I just don't have the time.
He acted like I'm just like, am I for real watching?
He acting like most American white males do these days.
Yes.
Entitled.
I didn't want to say it, but yes.
And a hot fucking mess with no anti-science, no facts, no logic behind anything they're saying. They just think they have a right to say whatever they want to say and pop off with them.
He just went on and on. You know what? Bad calls happen. I don't even know. By the time it was over, I didn't even know if it was a bad call. Like, I was so distracted by his poor behavior. But seriously, move on, dude. Move on.
But there's been no consequence, right? Because Jack Black does this every week and nothing happens.
I think he got fined, but nothing major. No major fines. But I think there's like a series of people who have been going off at umpires, really. And questioning umpires, questioning chair.
But he wasn't only questioning the umpire. He was questioning Hawkeye. He was like, "Why do I have to believe that?" He said, "Why do I have to accept what Hawkeye said?" Like, dude, you can't. Like, you can't.
MAGA science. I mean, I think this is what the whole point is. Like, you basically create distrust in the whole system. And then you end up
to try to get rid of it, or what? I don't
know. But there's never a plan. There's no. He has no solution to the problem, right? He has no solution to the problem. They want to let
their emotions guide them in the moment, and don't think about it.
Because you call Hawkeye because you don't trust the system that was in place, the people.
Yep.
So you get rid of Hawkeye. What are we gonna do now? Who's gonna make the call?
This is a person. We already know. I mean, listen. We know by his political leanings that he believes in crazy theories, right? And so I bet you he has a crazy theory about Hawkeye because he actually articulated it out loud. He's like, that's the exact same image that was shown in the last shot. He's like, that can't be the same shot. So I mean, you got a sense about where this was going.
Yeah, this motherfucker crazy.
I mean, he's questioning science. I mean, not to say that Hawkeye is perfect, but I think the level of questioning that he was offering in the interaction suggested that John has some conspiracy about Hawkeye.
This is what I get mad at with these people for, you know, like, why are you questioning that process there?
I know.
You know, like, they didn't just gamble and say Hawkeye going to show up today. Like, Hawkeye has been like for nearly what, 13 years now? Like,
it's been that long. Wow.
Every year they tell you it's one of the announcements the umpires say, okay, like, this match has electronic cards. You know, you have a problem with how that shit gonna run. Go to the meetings and say, you know what, for my matches, I don't want to do my calls. Can we do that? Can we be optional for my side? And I never get to go. Come with a solution.
Or you just let yourself recognize that it's your emotions. Like, just say, you know what, I'm emotionally strapped in this moment. Don't come up with some weird conspiracy-based argument in the middle.
No, he's gonna go run on it. Because that's the easy thing to do, right? Because, you know, these people are never at fault for anything. It's always a system. Next week, you're going to say Obama.
No, can I tell you, the whole time he was going off, I was so uncomfortable because I was like, he's gonna say something really bad. Like, I was just waiting for him to cross the line and say something really inappropriate to the umpire. I just knew it. I was like, oh God, please. Because I was like, you know, it doesn't take very long for MAGA people to get there. So I was like, oh, don't go there. But he held it together.
Next time around, they're gonna get messy. And I do not understand how the organization allows this to happen. Because one of these officials gonna check these people and punch them in the face.
No, they never do it. I mean, they would lose their jobs. I don't think the player would. So I think.
Well, I tell you what, they're gonna catch them outside, though. They'll catch them outside.
Listen, people are getting antsy enough for it to be real like that.
You wait and see, because at what point? I mean, like, people get fined. What? Nick squirt some water. Everyone just like ungentlemanlike behavior, whatever the case may be. Then, Leone didn't even waste 2 times when Nick hit the ball out to be unsportsmanlike conduct. He called him right away. It happened to Federer too. But then all of a sudden, for some people, we just don't do anything. We say nothing. We let them. We don't even try to contain the situation when it's in. We let them vent and swell up and get all up in their face and make a big old mess about it until they're fine and ready to be done with it. And it's often people who has no credibility. John Isner, you ain't winning enough to be acting this way, boo. It shouldn't be you. Not even Rafa behaved this way. He just said, you know what? I'm going to take your name and your number. I'm going to pass it to the call you, speak to your supervisor.
You will not be in the chair at my matches anymore. You're out.
Exactly.
That's better. That's better.
Your name and your number and speak to your supervisor. Exactly. That's how it sounds. Yeah, simple. Like, and he pretends like he don't know what was going on. That's what I mentioned. It. Rafa wanted to bring up that shit. What Rafa forgets to mention is that Leone Bernardes had allowed him to go off the court and spend like forever in the fucking bathroom, supposedly changing your pants. And you came out with it wrong side on and didn't feel a thing. It's only when you got broke and you decided, oh, I gotta change it now. Bitch, no. Play on. We ain't wasting no more time with your ass. I gotta go home. And let's not forget that match was hot and it was humid. People ain't got time to be out there playing a mess in Rio. Get out of here, rapper, with this messy. But no, I mean, like, and I'm surprised, and all the things people want to talk about, court assignments and all this bullshit, this shit never seems to come up. None of these journalists got anything to say about this mess. How American men, and particularly young men, are going on abusing officials all the time and consistently, and they're always wrong.
They're just letting off steam, though. That's how they characterize it.
All right,
it's the heat of competition language. It's like locker room talk, but the opposite. Heat of competition.
Players forget they know exactly where they're going to be every time, right? That their schedule isn't secret. That we know where we're going to find you. When someone busts their ass and punch them in fucking face, sometime later on in the day, I think they'll act better and see it. But And these umpires don't even get money. They don't even get a lot of money. It is so unfair to show up at work and do your job and be treated this way. It's not okay. It's not okay.
Well, I think Sasha did the same thing too.
I wish fans would get on this bandwagon instead of getting on some bullshit about coat assignment. Like, oh my God, like he's on coat number 2. And you're home watching it on TV. I wish they would get on that thing because that's what they're seeing because they're getting to see everything on TV.
Did y'all watch Novak and Edmund?
Yes.
So you witnessed what I witnessed, right?
I missed the end of the match, so I missed crazy eyes. But
what happened? Novak is back. He is back.
Yeah, Novak I think
looked like a crazy motherfucker.
I think Persecution Novak is the best Novak.
It's the best.
I just wish the persecution wasn't imaginary. I mean, I just wish it were real.
I mean, parts of it are in the sense that you're playing against a Brit and they don't like you. Well, yeah, duh.
He whined a little bit about that. He whined. The crowd was unfair.
But bitch, you had a tournament in your home country and you let it go. You could have the same.
No, that's unfair. It's Wimbledon. You know, people want to presume. People presume that the Wimbledon crowd is very like even. Classy. It's not. It's really not. I mean, and I think somebody else brought up this point, but the Heather Watson Serena match was just as contentious, if not more so. The Brits, for some reason, post 2012, the Brits are really convinced they're good at sports. And they
you are so wrong for that. You are so wrong.
But the Brits
when you get an Olympics and you get some dodges.
No, but let me tell you, but the Brits used to be fairly even-handed. It was like they accepted their lot in life. They're not sports people, so they were not going to be great at sports. That was like their thing. So they were very equanimous, whatever you want to call it. They showed a lot of equanimity on court. They were like, clap, clap, clap. But post 2012, these people are convinced they are the shit. And so nowadays, they will go hard on a court. If their players playing, they will not care. So
watch out if they win the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I think people have this idea in their mind about like British gentility. No, but it's like, I think it's this idea of British gentility that's been like pushed onto Wimbledon. And so people are like, because nobody makes a big fuss about it when you expect a rabid crowd at the US Open, because that's what people say. It's a ruckus there, right? And it's like, oh, at the French, it's a ruckus there. Crazy American, and the Frenchies, But for some reason, everyone takes it extra specially hard when at Wimbledon people have biased crowds. And I'm like, it's a sporting match. Like, of course they're going to want one person to win, and they're going to let you know it. So I mean, I would have thought that Djokovic would have been used to it by now, but I suppose he was very surprised by it. And I'm not sure why.
Yes, there was that point, Bella Michelle. There was that.
So do you think
you're going in and out, Janina, at least on my end?
Yeah, you are.
That might have been what made the beast.
Well, we lost Sister Beatrice. She's in and out.
Sister Beatrice, you're going in and out. You have to repeat. No, I think what happened was, I think the perception was
it was just
Tony said
it was really
Tony said the no voodoo is,
and that might have been the devil.
No, I mean, I do think that the umpire made an error, but I think in sort of, and then I guess in terms of the situation, it just felt like everything was going wrong. But he regrouped really quickly and broke and was able to take the match.
What I don't understand about Nola, it's just like you come into these matches as the heavy favorite, okay? As the heavy favorite. You're playing an underdog player. People are not really paying money. Isn't like y'all talk about the men's side that they don't have these routes. They're not paying for like these quick matches. Get over yourself. Every match you gotta fight. Like sometimes this kid, I just feel like I want to give Nole a bottle. Like here's a warm bottle, baby. Just have a seat. Part of this thing is that he expect whatever was given to Nadal and Federer that somehow he should get it too. Those people earned it. Even if they didn't earn it, they showed up at the right time to get it for free. But guess what? They're still there. They're still there. So you can't expect them to love you and love Nadal and Federer just the same. Okay? Pick a side. You got your Nole fam. They weren't there for you that day. Oh, get them some tickets, no? And then maybe you can run the shit next time around. But for God's sake, stop complaining about the shit. No one threw bottles at you. No one spat at you. Players go through legitimate grievances on court, on field of play all the time. But for this messy because they're cheering for somebody and cheering your double fault, you can't get upset at that shit because it is a point. You lose the point. It's not like they're double faulting and nothing happens. You technically lose the point when you double fault. So don't get mad at that shit. Get mad at the system. God.
What system though? It's not a system. People have favorites. I don't understand why this became a narrative. Like
when this narrative the chair for double faults. I don't get that.
Yeah, and it was like it's a Davis Cup atmosphere. I thought Davis Cup atmosphere is what everybody wanted at tennis matches. So I don't really understand when people offer it as a critique. I don't get it. Like I'm like, listen, I hate it. If you're cheering against my favorite, it would suck. But it's actually really a fun environment when you're up in there and it's so intense and people are living on every point. I mean, that's what you want as an athlete, right? Is for people to be living and dying on each of the point in a match. You don't want anyone not to care. So the idea that I don't really understand that narrative. And I think maybe it was one that was sold to him by the press and now he and his fans have embraced it and it's tedious. It's like I feel really, it's really unfair to me. Now, if he thought that that was impacting the umpire, now that's a fair grievance. If he thought he was getting dodgy calls from the umpire, that's a fair grievance because then there's a process there. But you can't really get on the audience for enjoying you or not enjoying you. That feels like a weird.
And you can't come off having won the match convincingly.
I know.
About the crowd. You just can't. Like, that's what I don't understand. There have been times when crowd have booed players. Martina Hingis, the French crowd, they shamed that woman into existence, and she was right. The ball was out. Definitely hit the ball long. She was correct. And the crowd booed her, and she left in tears. Her mommy got to come out on court and hug her. And she let that go. Never won the French, but she just had to deal with it, though. Come on now, Noli. People have far more serious grievances against crowd. We had World Cup football players get spat on, they get dragged, and plus they got to deal with the possibility that the hooligans in the fucking crowd might literally jump over and kill them because this has happened. And you're here crying because the crowd is celebrating a player from their own country. You're all here for like nationalism because you keep going out patriotic about Serbia, whatever the case may be. You're mad for that? Come on, boo. No, it can't be you. It can't be you, Novak. Relax. Just accept the crowd didn't like me, but I still won anyway. That's what you should say in the fucking press conference. Oh God, someone get this baby a bottle of milk, please, because I'm tired. Realz is tired of this mofo and this fuckery.
But he's back, as Janina says. I think he's got the juice. I think he's got the juice in his legs, the motivation in his legs to help see him through a nice wall. He's got a group of people who have beaten him before coming up, so it's not a cakewalk for him.
Well, we shall see. We shall see how that goes. So we are off of the men. Let's get into some of the news that we have here. I guess one of the biggest things is we have Fed fans. We have. I'm sorry, Sister Beatrice. We got our song check. We got our mic fixed now. Hello.
Is she still gone?
But I guess one of the biggest thing that we had on, I don't say biggest thing. I mean, for some people, it's really important. Federer came out in Uniqlo. He was just like, bye-bye, Nike. And I'm going with, I don't want to say something in Japanese because I don't know anything. It's like arigato. I think that's how we say hello in Japanese. I think so. Might be awkward. I don't know. But he's now wearing Uniqlo. And he's quite comfortable with that. And he gets his RF bit later on, I guess, because Nike doesn't own it. I wonder why Nike would think they would want to own something like that. Like I don't know why you would sell your name. Like, come on.
Well, I think they jointly grew that brand together, and
Okay.
so that seems like something that would have happened in the early part of his career in establishing that brand, and then Nike got some rights to it, and then it was going to revert over. I mean, my sense of it was that I think that Federer felt he was probably going to be with Nike forever, and it was only after it seemed like in the discussion that Nike
Right.
wasn't necessarily that enthused. But I mean, I think what's really helpful about the deal, you know, aside from the fact that people are really hurt that Nike didn't want Federer, I guess, or didn't want him enough to fight, whatever that means, is the idea that he doesn't have to keep playing to make this money. I mean, it seemed like Nike was offering him a deal that was contingent on him still playing, which is interesting because that doesn't happen for other athletes, no? You
No, I
still
think
have
some of the athletes have
you have
Michael Jordan
lifetime.
has a
Yeah,
deal,
you have
Tiger
lifetime and
Woods.
you're not, you know.
I think doesn't LeBron James have a lifetime contract with Nike?
Yeah.
But they're on a different scale though, because they're much more mass pop culture.
Yeah.
The reach of their name and brand is far more than Federer, right? We're not. I mean, like unless Federer has a foundation in on the African continent, in one of the African countries, he's not necessarily going to be as impactful as LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Basketball.
No, I mean, I think it's interesting only in the sense that I think it's an interesting thing to query around the state of tennis because let's be honest, he's one of their most marketable tennis players, right? And if you'd want to say that people get RF caps, whether they're even Federer fans or not, it's like an RF cap means that it's a tennis cap. You see it, you know, it's got to do with tennis. So I think it's interesting that they didn't think that Federer or whatever conclusions you can make around not believing that Federer had enough sort of legs maybe to sort of keep that brand going post a tennis career. I think that's somewhat interesting. And
for me,
and because you know that whatever happens with tennis, whatever happens with Federer also impacts other players in the game, right?
Right.
You know, whatever deal he sets up, other people can follow. You know, all the things that people critiqued about Federer at some point in his career, all the other players have now copied or done the exact same thing.
I want one of those. Can I have one of those? Whatever he got, I want one of those.
I mean, separate from whether you like Federer or not, I think he was a kind of a market leader in those ways. So I think
set the standard, and you know, sort of was a guinea pig.
But yeah,
for me, the most
what happened with Venus on the women's side, you know, with Venus I remember at the time Venus had some of the best deals that a woman had ever had.
Yeah.
So I think you can use these things as markers. So I think that's the most interesting part of the whole Nike thing to me is what it represents for tennis as a brand.
Sister Beatrice, are you there with us?
I don't know.
Yes.
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes.
You went outside.
Yeah, we're talking about Uniqlo and what it means that Federer switched.
What I was most surprised at was the fans' reaction, though. That people were caping for the cooperation. People were mad at Nike.
That was weird.
I was just like, people, for God's sake, like, look, someone's giving somebody money just for their name, okay? And let us not forget that, you know, that this $300 million, or whichever way it come from, Nike or Uniqlo, means that third world countries are going to be, little children going to be in sweatshop making this shit. And it's going to be made for like 50 cents a box. I'm going to be sold at $80 a pop, a shirt. Let us not get confused by that. And let's not get confused by that the money is going into the corporation hands and nothing is handing over for these places that they're exploited, right? People have literally died just for us to have the clothes that we're wearing on our back. But we're not trying to address that. We're trying to act like we're keeping for a fave, acting like we're getting money in that. We ain't strike this deal. We do not get 10%. So I don't care. Honest to God, I didn't care if Federer was in Uniqlo, if Federer showed up in a plastic bag, showed up in 11, Adidas, Ellis. I didn't care. Because you know what? That's not going to change his tennis. And he came out there looking just the same. I guess in some ways, I guess Nike was part of his identity, I guess. But you know what? It just goes to show nothing lasts forever. If Federer and Nike were willing to part ways with each other for some figure or whatever the case, I mean, just believe that nothing is forever and nothing can, you know, like money, and there's no recognition, there is no loyalty when it comes to business.
Yep, for sure. That's a 20-year-old. That's a 20-year-old relationship gone down the drain.
Since he was like 14 or something like that, he's been with Nike. He's been like for a very long time, and Nike was just like, "Yeah, we're not paying you what you're worth anymore," which means pretty soon Nadal might leave.
No, I actually think it leaves a good place for Nadal. I think it actually has the opposite impact on Nadal, because then you actually still need a legend on your team, on your roster.
Well, we've seen the mess because you see how what's his name, Novak has been all over the place, right? All over the place. He's at Lacoste now, and he's probably mad because he ain't seeing that kind of check. Yeah, your best believe.
I think these things are important only in the sense of the business of tennis and what it means in terms of tennis as a brand. For like a big name.
Does it mean anything though?
I think it's interesting that Nike did not feel it could build something with Federer post his tennis career, that it was contingent on him playing. That's interesting to me. I don't know what that means, but I think that's noteworthy.
Well, how about this? I mean, we talked about the fact that everyone in tennis seemed exciting to go to Nike, right? Even though the deal isn't a lot of money.
Sure.
They're excited to go because of the exposure that they get. We know that Salone, right? And Simone, I guess, like $1 million. Even Petra doesn't even get a lot of money when you consider her. I think she was making like $3-4 million a couple of years ago of all her endorsements all together. And if Federer's getting $300 from Uniqlo, which means that his deal from Nike was probably probably 50-something million dollars, if not couple $100 million.
Not really.
But it's a significantly more money than whatever Petra was making. But I think for me, what is rather interesting is the larger scheme of how business work. That in terms of like, let's consider like Amazon and Uber and like these corporations or businesses sort of go, they're looking to just eat the market. Like they're looking to saturate the whole thing, where they then control. It isn't about the prices anymore. It's just a matter of being controlling the entire market. Then they get to set the agenda. They no longer need to respond to market forces or the whims of the customer and all what we want, because we are at their behest. They control all parts of the market, all parts of distribution. They control everything. So we don't get a say anymore with Amazon, right? Remember when Amazon came out?
What does that mean? What does this mean for us? What does this mean?
Well, it means for us that we're probably going to, that Roger walked away, I guess, that Nike is just like, we don't care. We control everything, because Nike was selling a t-shirt for like $80 a t-shirt. A fucking t-shirt with just Roger on it, $80.
But I think the other thing that's interesting about it, and this is, I don't know if we need to talk about it more, is like is the idea that this is actually much more about leisure wear, which I think is noteworthy. Is the and because Roger has his own relationship with fashion people, is that really, I think at this point in time, this is sort of beyond the sport, right? So this is now the potential for Uniqlo to have a store in Switzerland that Federer might have a name in, and then also designs on things future. So I think what it does actually do is take it out of the sports market, which is what I find somewhat noteworthy about it. That's my only thing I find.
Uniqlo has been known to be in traditional and what they consider active wear, because they have a dancer, Misty Copeland, as a model, as one of their brand ambassador. They endorse her. It's sort of like, is it her? No, they have a different answer. No, Misty Copeland was in Under Armour, I think. So like a lot of these clothing brands have a different outlook and style than just the traditional athlete and what they expect leisure wear and sportswear to be.
Nonetheless, so, I think it's the good news is you don't have to keep playing to get the money. That's, I think, the best part about this is that.
And I'm telling you, I'm not gonna lie. Realz is not gonna lie. Someone offer me $300 million just to wear clothes. You best believe if it's baby Gap, my ass will be wearing it, except for diapers. I won't be wearing that, but baby cat don't make diapers. Right?
I think what will be interesting is when Rafa's deal ends this year, what that means. And then also, where Serena is in terms of her deal. I don't know what's been established, because
honestly, I always thought that when she went to Nike, that was a sad deal. She should have stuck with Puma.
I know we all love Puma, but no, it is interesting in the sense that these people are sort of towards the end of their career, and then what that means for the market in terms of these people are the icons of the sport. And so that's the noteworthy thing about it. I don't really care. As long as the shirt.
Listen, nobody cares what anybody's wearing. No one really cares. I don't think people care. Like I would
People
like
do care.
They do. Did you see people pass out? Like, no!
This is what I think. I think that people are pissed because they've spent so much of their own money on that damn RF logo. That's what they're pissed about. They don't care that Roger's
Yeah,
not
I mean, like
yeah,
I have.
they want the RF. They want the RF.
Yeah,
You're right. RF is the most
like
important part of that deal.
Relevant. Well, I think eventually that RF logo will come to Federer. He was very shady, and he is so good at being shady. But I mean, he basically called Nike out in his press conference and said, "We're working on this. Give it to me." I don't know if y'all caught that, but
no, I did. I caught it. Yeah, we caught it.
You know, I think that was him putting it out there publicly, like, this is mine, give it to me and hurry up and do it.
Yeah.
But I think that's what people are pissed off about the most. I don't think it's really what he's wearing, because you better believe all those hardcore stands are going to be out there buying fucking Uniqlo shit.
They did already. The shirt he was wearing with Bert and Ernie sold out.
I think it's silly. I just think it's silly for anybody to think that anyone isn't going to go with who's going to offer them the most money. Nike doesn't need Roger Federer.
Or the fact that it means anything. Like, I think that's really weird that people think, like, make it a judgment call. Like, you've earned, this is like retirement money. This is what you've earned. So when
I'm not like you even need a retirement money. This is for Leo and Lenny to play around with. This is fun.
You have no idea. Listen, it's very easy. You talk about this. Federer's made a lot of money, but lots of people have made money and lost it. So let's not discount the fact that people can make a ton of money and have it go. So I
want to find out. I want to find out if I would lose a ton of money. Can someone just give me that experiment?
I mean, but we got Boris Becker up in there. Boris Becker was a big star of his era,
but they won't making this kind of money.
For his era, he was making the kind of money, right? So and we know basketball players who make a ton of money and they lost it. So we're not saying, you can't presume.
Get an education, people. Get an education.
They're always going to have their money. People make bad investments all the time.
I just think it's weird. I don't know. I just think it's weird. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about money. It's just.
I think people need to stop projecting things onto people around money. Which is that my player doesn't want money. He doesn't want money. Give me money.
When it comes to Nike, you have
they want money and legacy and longevity. Apparently, I was really thinking about this reason, like, how are people seem to be obsessed with how their name will live on in their death. And I was just like, really? Why are you so concerned about that?
A lot of people are. Legacy is a huge thing for lots of people.
You don't know. You don't stick around to know how it goes.
But you still want people to say your name when you're dead. That's what this is about for a lot of people.
You know what they say. So all of this
Nobody cares, but that's
all of this is really what you keep thinking about in your head. Like,
isn't that supposedly why people have children as well? I mean, they want to go. It's a way for you to beat death. You beat death if people remember you after you're gone.
This is very Voldemort-ish.
Anyway, we move on. That was probably longer than it needed to be.
But yeah. So again, I just want to put out there again. Can we just please, people, fans? Can we save the fire for the real enemy? Can we save some of this energy and effort for real issues in tennis? Can we not talk about court coverage and placement of courts? People, please. Please, whether Venus is playing in a sandbox or court number 18, there will be a camera there.
Maybe not, because I couldn't see her. But it was just not a televised court. It did have cameras on there, but it didn't.
But y'all need to talk to the WTA. This is not the tournament fault only. Okay? Y'all are just, this is just madness every single time we keep wasting these things. But we're not talking about officials. We're not talking about why officials running around in these ridiculous looking
people. But people, you know what? Listen, right or wrong, people have now perceived court assignment to be a thing, a reflection of things beyond whether someone's going to make money off of it. I think actually what's interesting about Wimbledon is that Wimbledon is actually one of the few places where it is actually a tennis club. And so actually the tennis club members, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they do a survey recently where they asked who they wanted to see on center? So, I mean, I think those are I think we have now equated where you're placed as a marker of something, of your value, of your worth. And I think what people really get upset about is that there's really only there's only one person who is constant, and that's Federer. Federer is going to be a constant, or Murray, or a British person, whoever that British person is, there's always going to be that slot. And so that means that the other slots are less free, right? I don't know what to do about that. I mean, you can lobby for it all you want, but I don't think that's going to change very much at Wimbledon. I think
or anywhere.
Wimbledon's really the only place where that really shifts. I mean, yes, and the U.S. Open, you're never going to have Federer play.
Does he play anywhere outside except
it's
Bradley?
really, you know what? It's really, really hard at the U.S. Open because it becomes about managing
and logistics. Yeah, because in U.S. Open, the next show code is adjoined to another show code, and then there's a bottleneck in that middle space.
I think this time around it might be different. I mean, because of the new Armstrong court, which apparently is really, really big, I think you might be able to now see the top guys and the ladies actually move back and forth. But it's really difficult to actually see any top player off of Ash. It just because logistically it was a problem. I think now it might play like the Australian Open. I think now, when you have two signature courts, you might be able to have some back and forth. I hear now that Armstrong is just as big and is not as weird as it was in the past. But I remember when I told you guys before, when Novak Djokovic played on Armstrong, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare to walk the grounds. The lines to get in were ridiculous. It's just harder. So you just end up putting people on Ash because it's just the bigger and it's easier to
Candy, really?
DJ Sama said they need to tear down Ash.
I mean, I hate Ash. Who loves Ash? Nobody
Sama
likes Ash. We hate Ash too, but like they could cut off the top of Ash and it would be better.
Not with that new roof though. That shit is gonna stay there.
Ash is the worst. It is.
It's gonna stay there forever. I mean, like they were determined to be like and you know what's crazy? Nothing else really happens in there. It's not like they built it be like we can have like a band, we can have like a rock concert or something. Nope, it's just built for tennis.
I know.
I think they tried something recently with a plate, but that's all it's there for.
I do think that people have reason to be upset about Venus's placement on court 2, though. She's still the person who has.
She always gets fucked. Why are people surprised?
But I mean, even though it's not it's a surprise, but you could still comment on it. I do think it's weird though that Venus. I mean, she is still the person who has won there the most of outside of Serena.
Would she have won some of that 7?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So in some ways you would think that just honoring the fact that she's won it that many times, she would at least always get one.
But maybe it might be something she might not want to be playing on all these big show codes all the time.
No, it has nothing to do with that. I don't know. I mean, but you know what? That's always an open question. I think it's always important that Venus just finishes her matches. Like if it's about placement and whether it's going to rain and you put somebody later on or whatever, I'm like, just get it on and get it done because, it's better if that happens. But for people who believe court assignment is recognition of what you've done in the past, I mean.
Well, HY is making a point here. He said Federer is God in he or she is in Federer is God in Europe. Serena is a God in the US. She's not very marketable here, unlike Sharapova because of race, and that might be another issue too.
Well, we all know that it's about who people find appealing. But I think the question is outside of whether they find you appealing or not, is whether you've earned the right, regardless of whether people think it's appealing, right? So the point of this is that even though market forces might drive you to do one thing, you have to acknowledge that the person has earned their right, has earned their stripes, and you got to do it whether you like it or not. But I mean, Serena hasn't been off center. So if Serena's not off center,
I think she played court 1. One of her first match she played on court 1.
No, not this year. Not this year. I don't think she's been on center the whole time, right? If I'm not mistaken, was she on 1 at any point? So I mean, that's the question. I think a lot of this is wrapped up in Federer resentment, but at the same time, I think there is some validity to maybe the open question about what does it mean? How do you treat Wimbledon champs?
But then you need to frame this thing better than just simply saying, why is Venus on court number 2, whatever. Then come up with a system how these things should be assigned. Yeah. Everybody can play on center court. Everyone can play on court number 1. I know there's an issue when I consider 9 matches on the top 3 center court, court 1, court 2. 9 matches, and there are only 3 women matches and 6 men's matches. How do we strike a balance for that sort of situation?
Theoretically,
numerically,
would be
one has to be one over the other. It has to be 5-4, and it's just a split of like 1 to it's just one. It's just number that's off, right? But I mean, like, how do you fix this other thing? What's the system for it? You know, like, you can't just simply complain about this situation if it's an ongoing issue for you in this case. Like, I think these are issues that need to be addressed through WTA, ATP, but just, I don't know. Sometimes I think people
it's the presentation. You're right. The presentation is off because people just use it to generate a lot of buzz, but then they don't offer a potential
exactly
solution.
And try to say this is sexist, this is like whatever the case may be.
Yeah, but it would be nice if a solution was offered. Like, we think that all Wimbledon champs should not be off of court, any show court, any point in time, or you know what I mean?
Right. When it comes to the round of 16, when you have 16 matches to play and you have a show court, like,
automatically given
exactly,
and mentioned.
And
know,
also,
we should begin to do those things. Yeah.
Also, we need to consider that sometimes when we're looking at the schedule, we're just looking at the singles matches. There are other matches that are played on these very same court. There are doubles matches that are played afterwards. And is that a factor? How does this work, et cetera, et cetera? I mean, by no means am I saying, and I don't think Andreen is saying, if I may speak for her as a man, is that she's saying that the system is perfect. However, that if we can do better, how is it that we can do better? How do we make this better?
Say it. Don't just say it's sexist or whatever. It's a given that it's sexist because these systems exist. But then I want offers of solutions or things that the WTA should lobby for. Because every single time people talk about seeding, and then we have to tell people, hello, the WTA didn't negotiate to have seeding as a thing at Wimbledon. So we just
they're like, why not use the system that the men use? Remember when a man said that y'all were just following the men? Y'all got mad. Y'all got mad.
Folks get mad.
Yeah, presentation, right? Presentation was the problem there. But then we said, how about we step back and look at what he was saying? Does he have a point what he's saying? Because we mentioned, right, that he felt comfortable to say this shit in a room full of y'all and didn't think twice. And secret as it's kept right here. Whatever the WTA man who in charge of WTA, he don't say shit about the ladies' game. I know that, right? He don't even seem to enjoy that shit. He don't promote it.
He don't show up. Does he even show up and watch it?
Yo, I'm just saying, y'all. So the problem is that y'all need to pick better people in charge, better advocates, and I don't want to say y'all need to speak up. But maybe because y'all are speaking anyway, but y'all need to direct the voices in the chorus.
Circular ways.
Not on Twitter. Because that ain't helping y'all, okay? Go talk to the people in the room. Y'all have insiders too, I believe.
Oh boy.
Have them talk. Because telling me what the problem is, we already know.
Okay.
All right.
Moving on. Okay. So are there any questions? I know someone asked a question.
Bartoli.
Oh God!
Didn't we talk about that already?
I think we did. We just said it can't be she. She can't be the one.
Good.
Right.
And also, just if you're gonna talk about it, I don't think we did. We talked about it offline.
That's what we did. You're right.
We talked about it offline.
Yeah, Bartoli, it can't be you. Let me just.
Bartoli had some things to say about Monfils and Nick Kyrgios. I think people have interpreted it positive. If they are defending Marianne, they're talking about the fact that she is questioning both of their efforts and their ability to and their commitment.
Why doesn't she let them borrow her bands?
I think I have a problem with the way that she characterized both of the men that she was critiquing. I think terms like pathetic, lazy, any of those kinds of terms are actually not really useful critiques.
Grow up,
boys, never gonna be men. Those seem really loaded and actually not at all about talking to somebody on a professional level that you supposedly respect. It seemed highly personal. That's my
if I might add, if a man had made the same comments about a couple of women like Sloane Stephens and I don't know,
Simona Halep,
Petra, Simona Halep, Well,
But you
no,
can't
they
use
won.
those names because
They have
because
won.
remember the
They've
claim
won
was that
majors.
they won majors. You have to pick people who haven't won majors. I just think that I've never heard that claim lobbied against many people who have failed to win slams.
Pavlyuchenkova.
No. I mean, I'm just talking about it on the men's side. There are a lot of men who you can list.
If we're just gonna stick on
If you're gonna stick to the ATP, there are lots of guys who have failed to win and who have failed
the
to
entire
quote,
French
unquote,
team.
yeah, live up to their standards, right? Live up to the standards. You could say the same thing of Sanga, Gilles Simon, Gasquet. I mean, he was supposed to save tennis. I'm just saying, like, Sanga. I'm just saying there are lots of people who have not won, even though people thought they were going to be dead right to win. And people don't deconstruct their effort, their deservedness, any of those kinds of things. I'll be honest. It was a little too much. It was a little rough to hear this very white woman talk about the two men of color who have all this quote unquote talent, but are essentially lazy in what she's basically saying. And I don't know if we want to characterize that this is about laziness, because lots of people have failed to win slams during this era, no matter how quote unquote hard they worked. So I mean, Federer has never won one. Berdych. I mean,
you don't even have to name them. You just have to say most of the tour has. Because the same people have all of them.
It's like, I mean, someone mentioned yesterday. I saw a tweet where someone was saying, you know, like, I can't really cheer for Nishikori because I don't believe he's gonna win 7 matches and win this whole tournament. Girl, like who?
Who does that?
Who does that?
Who wins?
Who's winning? Who's winning 7 matches 0? It's the same people.
There's like 10 people.
For the last 6 majors, 2 men have won. 2.
So everyone, who's cheering for anybody then?
Exactly. I mean, what about Chad? How does Chad feel? He's a David Ferrer fan. I mean, only man he cares for. I mean, like, I worry about Chad and that. That's the thought in my mind. Not just Chad. I kept wanting for a very long time. Like, how do you feel when you're a David Ferrer fan? Like, how do you get up every day and watch tennis?
They feel good. You know why? Because in tennis world,
it's not about winning the majors, right?
No, because for him, people have, I mean, and this is really it's really, I guess, a question of talent versus effort. This is what this comes down to in people's mind, because people really believe that a lot of these other players have reached their ceiling in terms of their effort. They didn't have the talent, but they have done as much as they could in terms of effort. So nobody slags off of Federer or any other ones because they say they've worked hard. Because that's really what the subtext is. The subtext is that these boys, both of these young men have a lot of talent. And then the question is, can you assess their work ethic? And so that's really what this is about. And it's always the same thing, right? You guys have natural talent. Naturally, you're talented. So you're naturally placed to actually win. So the reason why you're not winning has got to be effort, right?
I mean, that just becomes a whole messy.
It's a messy argument because
it's a coded argument as well.
It's very coded.
Because I mean, because my thing is just like at any era, at any point, few people will win in the majors, right? Very few people will win in majors. Everybody doesn't win.
Yep.
Winning isn't guaranteed to you. Being a major success isn't guaranteed, right? Supposedly hard work gets you there, etc., etc. But I mean, I guess in tennis, because we do this often, we get to make, you know, these generalized statements. But, you know, I was considering track and field. Gail Devers was one of the most talented natural hurdlers in the world ever. She won so many world championships, but girl couldn't get through the Olympics. Couldn't get through the Olympics. She either got injured, she either fell down, and she made a comment and she said, had she won in 1988 when she was favored to win as well, she would have retired. She won the 100-meter dash twice. But for her, she kept going and motivated, being there, trying to win this. Nothing is guaranteed for you to win. Nothing. So to me, it's just like you only have one moment for that kind of sports. Do you say that everybody else who was in the lineup for the 100-meter dash, they weren't working hard? They're lazy because only one person could win the goal. I mean, you know what I mean? And literally, she won the goal in 96 by a nipple. by a nipple. She won the 100-meter dash by a nipple over Merlin Ottey.
You mean like a boob?
Like a boob nipple. Like a boob nipple.
You know how they do that at the end when they do that line.
Exactly.
And they're like,
torso
chest
first.
out.
Chest out. Exactly. She won by a nipple.
Okay.
The distance of a nipple. Merlin Ottey has been running and slaving since the 70s. She never won Olympic gold medal. She deserves it too. She works hard. But I mean, I'm just simply saying that, you know, tennis isn't any different. No, you don't, I mean, like, we can't always, to me, it's like, yes, people should win and everything, but our faves can't all win. They can't win every day, and everybody don't get to take home the prize.
And also,
so for her to say,
it's also a job too. And I think
exactly.
we have to make that we have to figure out what those people find joyful about what they do. Like, I mean, yes, I would love it if Monfils had won a slam. I think he would have been great. But I think we have to evaluate what he cares about, how he goes about his business, and what he enjoys. And I think we just can't use slam win as the ultimate barometer of whether this person has had a successful career or not. I think he's been pretty ethical on court. I think he's well liked by lots of people. I think he's very joyful when he's on. I just think we can evaluate someone in a much broader way than their slam count. I mean, especially on the men's side, for sure. Not to say that that's not the case on the women, but I'm like, especially on the men's side, when so few win it, you got to open up your eyes a little bit. And you know, so I just didn't like this. I just think that much of her critique was really coded. And I don't think you.
And again, it can't be she. She can't be the one. When she was lazy, she was never about fitness.
I know. That was the critique people offered her.
About her. I was not mad. Didn't listen to anybody. Her daddy got her doing some crazy fucked up.
And I defended her at the time too, because I said I'm a Bartoli fan, and I said she has a right to go her own way. Because
she only won that major because Maresmo came in and been like, girl, we gotta drop some pounds. We gotta drop some weight. When she decided to get real serious and someone was pushing behind her. So maybe, girl, you should have a little sympathy. Right? Maybe
or don't allow John McEnroe to let you cheer on the vileness and the hate of the Brown boys on tour.
And I mean, like, you know you're not in the right when John McEnroe is backing you up. You know that. It's just like an automatic thing, just like, what? John McEnroe is backing me up. You know what? Let me rethink my point. Maybe, yeah, it wasn't right. And then you come with her, and the thing that really upset me the most with her is that she come with that white girl bullshit, right? That's not what I meant. I was only trying to be nice. Bitch, that's not what you said. That's not what you said, though. You can't say something.
She's like, I was on your side. I'm just on your side.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Like you're on your side.
Lies.
That's not how that works. You can't say something and then say that's what you meant, and then let that be the thing. The road to hell is paved with good intention. And the problem is, we knew you had no good intention then.
No, you just want to run your mouth.
You want to run your mouth.
I don't mind. You can run your mouth, but you could have said it differently, and you could have made. I mean, what's the point of having these ex-athletes up there if they don't bring anything new to the table? She sounded like one of us as a fan. That's fine. You know what I mean? But the reason why we have you there is that you could talk about injuries that have been played.
Some kind of nuance, exactly. I mean, like, how is Monfils and Curious and what's his name, Nishikori? How they gonna win 7 matches when we don't even think they can last 3 matches? Their body just hold up for 3 matches. I mean,
and you can't say the thing about. Let's be honest too, and you can't say Nishikori doesn't work hard. So is it hard work that's causing them to falter, or lack of hard work, or is it fragile bodies? I don't know.
Exactly. What about the guy never like Tommy Haas? Tommy Haas worked hard, but he just got unlucky. He rolled over a ball at Wimbledon. Almost got fucked up injury, and I think he got mono at one point. Like, sometimes shit just happens to you. Winning isn't guaranteed. Okay, it's just not. And we need to evaluate that a lot of these top athletes are getting very specialized training, and you know, they got the money for that kind of shit. With $300 million, Federer can have somebody to calculate calories to cook him I mean, come on now.
If it's really
He have enough money.
I like that Federer is keeping that number out there. It might not even be true, but it's like a baller number.
Meanwhile, you've never heard any other number before, right? You've never heard any other number before. So that just came out there to just let Nike know we can get the money, we can get the deal what we want. And who cares whether it's Uniqlo or Nike? It's Federer. It's Federer that everybody wants. I'm telling you.
Anywho, that's the best.
So, someone asked.
What's the question?
Master Ace asked a question. I think we should have dealt with it when we were talking about the men, about whether or not do we think that it's going to be a Federer Nadal final?
I don't think Nadal's going to make it.
Do I think it's a Federer Nadal? I actually think I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be a Fed
Novak
final.
I think whoever comes out of the top half of Nadal's side of the draw, you know, I think they might win.
You mean the bottom half? The Federer with Federer?
No, Nadal's side. So I don't
Nadal's side.
It's the bottom half.
The bottom. It's either Rafa versus Delpo or
bottom half.
Nole or Kai. Nole or K.
I think that might be our winner.
You sound far away, Sister Beatrice. So get closer.
Yeah.
I think that might be our winner.
From the bottom half.
From the bottom
Fair
half.
Enough.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's I think Nole is in a really good shape to beat Rafa if he gets to the semis.
And he's gonna need that win because I mean Rafa has spanked him the last couple times they've met, so it's gonna be in the back of his mind. And so
do we have any doubts about Federer getting to the final though? People are taking it as a given. I don't really
know. I don't know. I mean, there are people there who have traditionally bothered him. I mean, there is Monfils.
Monfils could tire him out. But exactly. I actually do think Monfils loses to Anderson. I think Anderson's just a little bit steadier, but we'll see.
I'm not here for Anderson.
Nobody is, but
I'm just saying. I'm just making it known. Putting it out there. But I mean, you're absolutely right. He has been very steady at major. I mean, since his injury, he's come back and be like, you know what? I'm taking Berdich's spot. I'm taking Berdych and Ferrer's spot all together.
Are you missing Berdych?
No.
Considering who is here in absentia, Kevin Anderson, I'm gonna say yes.
I kind of miss him.
I miss Berdych.
I miss him. I do.
Because you know what? I know Berdych is gonna come and Berdych is gonna bring the right amount of saltiness to the Federer match. He's gonna see me as a legit. And we're gonna know if Federer can win this or not. If he can beat Berdych, Berdych is the barometer.
Because, no. I actually think if Federer gets past Manarino, which I think he will, you know, who knows, but you never know.
You're saying if, really?
Listen, I don't take anything for granted. I didn't think he was gonna lose to Stokowski either.
Oh, come on.
I'm like one of
honestly,
those.
God, he didn't think so too. So.
I'm like one of those fans. No, I mean, I think that I don't think it's a cakewalk left. I think there's still some work to be done. I do. I'm not one of those people that thinks it's a given. Anything
and he
really
doesn't have last year's strength though. I mean, like last year he was in shape. He looked like he was ready. But this time around,
this year he's got a bigger ass and a bigger calves. I
mean, he's working out. You gotta work harder. I think that's why he brought Ivan Lubitsch in the camp, because even though you gotta do old man, gotta work that stay longer in the gym. You gotta be like, when you're old, you're gonna be in the gym longer than you're gonna be on the court. Okay, you gotta be in the gym longer. So that's
I have to say the match I'm really looking forward to is I want to see what Delpo does for Rafa. Because the surface should favor Delpo, right? Should. This is a surface that you'd want to pick him to have a chance of beating Rafa finally. Like he
that
did
would be
at
a
the
sexy quarterfinal. That would be a very sexy quarterfinal.
But you never know.
I would love for it to be Kay versus Karen in the quarterfinal. Just saying.
What you love and what's gonna happen? No,
I know.
Because you know what, Gulbis can act like a spoiler because you know Gulbis loves to try to beat Nolan.
Gulbis played 6 matches. He's ready. He's done. That's enough for him. He proved he still got it. He proved that, you know what, next time you see him around someplace, he's going to be mess. He might mess up your fave. But plus, Federer is not undecided to draw, so the motivation factor is not there. Debs, I know Debs would be this. Debs said that Rare Niche is looking like a bad rash.
He is. I'm not taking it for granted. He did take Federer out at the semis in the injured year. I mean, listen, none of us take these things for granted. I'm gonna be like Rafa fans and panicking over
everything.
Milos.
Everything. I mean, you know how Rafa fans go, right? Rafa is playing, like Tommy Robredo, and they're like, "Oh my God, Tommy won that one game, that one time."
I'm not taking this for granted. What?
God, never give it. Oh my God.
Oh God. I mean,
Stefanos. Just call him by his first name, okay?
Yeah, Stefano. Sister Beatrice is speaking in tongues.
That's fine.
I would love it if Stefanos take an Isner. That'd be nice. I'd love it if he take up. I actually would love a Federer Stefanos semis. I think that would be really pretty. And it'd be a single-handed backhand fun.
I mean, unless you come in with a Stanley power, Federer does deal with that. Well, new Stanley. Well, new old Stanley.
I'm just saying I'm just saying it would be pretty tennis. I think Stefanos would throw himself all over the court. It'd be like a real fun moment.
I'm just hoping Isna just get out of here.
I mean, we do what we want. We pray for what we want, and then
it's not out of here. And I'm hoping Mackenzie. I mean, like this was a run Mackenzie should have had in Australia, and I would be happy if he takes out Rainic because I don't like to see Rainic salty self anywhere else. He's just like a bad vibe, just like he ain't just a bad rash.
Nobody wants a Rainic, isn't there? I would love a McDonald Stefanos.
So boring.
God, give us that.
Oh my God. Put that on code 18. Put that on code 18, please. Out of the way. And on the women's side, where is my ladies' paper? I think we dealt with them. Yes, we dealt with everybody on the men's side. On the women's side,
it's just a hot mess.
I don't trust Asta. I don't trust Alona, but I'm gonna say Sabolka will get to the quarterfinals. And Ostapenko. I think Van Uytvanck, because whatever Kastakina is gonna go through, Allison's not gonna let her have her day. She's gonna be like, no, I gotta kiss my girlfriend, and I'm all about that. So let me keep that going. I am hoping Sister Belinda will continue because I just don't like Kerber. It's nothing to do with Serena. I just don't like Kerber. I just don't like her energy. Just I'm just suspicious of Kerber. But usually she runs herself into ragged. She doesn't have the stamina to keep on going. So it's a good match, I think, for Belinda to really test herself to see whether she's ready to be back in the top. I would love for Belinda to be in the quarterfinals at least. So that's who I am on that side. And
who's gonna win?
Yeah.
Ooh, Serena. I think the whole tournament.
Yeah.
I think this is Serena to lose. Though Makarova might get a new meldonium supplement, but and she knows how to deal with Serena in the quarterfinal stages. She does. Got one-handed backhand, but Serena got her back good many times thereafter. But I think Serena. I mean, Pliskova has beaten Serena solidly, handedly at the U.S. Open last time they played. So. I don't know, but Pliskova doesn't. I don't know. I think Serena's gonna get out of here. She should, and she should win it. She might be messy, but I think she should win.
I think she wins. I always think that though.
True.
I would like a Dominika Cibulkova Serena final.
I'm here for that.
That'd be fun.
That's how I filled out the rest of my draw.
What?
Cibulkova and Serena in the final.
That's not a bad final because it's going to be a dog fight.
Yeah. That's a real tussle.
That's going to be a real dog fight.
Cibulkova would never back down.
Nope. That'd be fun.
You have to beat her to submission. You have to. It's one of these things. You have to. I mean, I don't mean it's in any kind of, but I mean, like, she's the kind of player like you have to literally beat her mentally and physically because she will not stop. Like, she's going to play right out. So. I think she's not gonna be overwhelmed by the moment or anything like that.
If I don't have that final, I think it's a Kerber Serena again. Wouldn't that be funny? When did we have Kerber Serena? Was it 2 years ago?
2016, the last time Serena won here.
That's so funny. That'd be funny. Because Kerber hasn't done anything, and then for her to meet Serena in the final again, that would be hilarious.
What do you mean again?
US Open later after.
No, I'm just saying because I just mean it in the sense that Kerber has been so off the radar, and for her to get to that final would be weird. And then for it to be like a repeat of the 2016 final would just be.
Well, I thought you were saying it as if they make it Kerber wins.
No.
Well, she won the Australian Open over Serena, so.
But if she got there, it's I think it could be. Right. But I would prefer Dominica just because I like Domi. So
wait. Why do people keep saying? Is it that Wimbledon had never called anyone Mrs. who was married?
Oh my God, I cannot. They always have. You know what it is?
Do people know there's no language for married men, right? There is no word in the English language to denote that a man is married.
Can we just say something though? Can we just say, listen? I'm as much a feminist as the next person, which is not
all these feminists are running around here.
But I think sometimes it's like we talk about this. I think we talk about this offline around like pink causes. Sometimes we've got to get over some of these cosmetic feminist issues. Like really, like this is not an issue. Like, I mean, you're not going to get me all in a tizzy about whether they refer to her as Mrs. Williams or Miss Williams. I could not even sustain a thought about this for longer than a minute or even a couple seconds. I really don't care. And I mean, somebody needs to tell me why I should care, because this just feels like a really cosmetic issue. Is anybody really angsty about this and can explain to me why I should care about it? Please. No. I'm asking.
There's no answer.
Girl, I tell you, while you're on this no care bus, you should also don't care that no one's asking Roger about separation from his children, because you know what? He didn't carry them for 9 months. Now he's breastfeeding them. So
I just think that when we talk about women's issues, I just think the women's issues are handled so poorly that I can't get up in arms about them. I think that they are. I mean, they're debated in such an uninteresting way that I just can't be bothered. Like it's they don't recognize that men and women are different in some ways. Well, I mean, they both want women to be known and acknowledged as different, but then don't want to deal with what those differences are, and then take those to the natural extension. Like someone's like, nobody's asking Federer about separating from his baby. Well, no, because he's not the one carrying it and holding it and breastfeeding it. So no, it's not the same question. So it's like, I just like, that's a fair question to ask a woman, because that is something unique and specific to women.
And in fact, they have asked him, and he said they're home with their mommy.
And then actually, people got upset. That's that question too. But other people have gotten upset.
But wait, that's a fair point, because we do hear about, well, nobody's asking Federer, but the truth is they do ask him.
They do ask him. And then when they ask him, people think it's dumb. Like I've seen moments where people equate Federer with Vika, and people hate that. And I was like, and then I see people say, well, why are you asking this? It's like, first of all, men and women are different, and it's different. It's not less than, they're different. And it's like, every time we try to acknowledge difference, it's kind of like when we try to acknowledge difference across race lines, people get really antsy and really uncomfortable. And then we don't really deal with the real issues. And I can't take it. Like, be better at asking about these women's issues.
Difference doesn't denote superiority or inferiority. Difference is just different.
Shaking them out. You're shaking them out to get a reaction, but it's not real. It's not a real thing. No, why do you refer to them as Mrs. or Miss? Who cares? You know what's so funny? Ask the women, and I guarantee you some of these women enjoy being married and enjoy their marriage being acknowledged. Exactly. Stop assuming the same thing for everybody. Stop assuming that every woman
love to wear their wedding ring no matter what. Some and men don't.
This isn't new though. That's the problem. Stop assuming that this is new for Serena. She got married. She is now Mrs. Williams. That's how they're going to refer to her. That's the way that it's always been. I mean, this isn't new. So stop pretending like now we have to talk about it because it's Serena.
Yeah, or that it matters. Like, I don't, and if the women came down and said they like it, don't beat them up for it. Like, I'm like so over this issue about these things. It's like, oh my God, because there's like one feminist answer. The feminist answer is she should really just want to be known by herself. I mean, what's actually interesting is that she's Mrs. Williams. Like, that's what's
exactly.
funny.
I'm not Mrs. Wani.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, right. She gets to still own her name and still be acknowledged that she has changed she has added someone that's important to her life. Like, marriage is not a freaking great evil, and it's not a great win either. So I just don't care about it in that same way, unless you're treating the women differently and you can blame it on their marriage. Then that's the only reason why I want to talk about it.
I just think it's stupid because
it's dumb and cosmetic.
It's wasting energy on
called Mrs. I am Mrs. Reed. Call me it. I don't care. I don't care.
Just don't pay me less because you call me it.
Exactly. That's the issue.
You know I'm not gonna be offended if someone says Miss Reed. I'm not. Yeah,
I don't care.
Shut the fuck up. How about that?
I mean, I'm single, so I don't know. Married women, maybe this is a big issue for you guys, and maybe you guys tell me better. But I just I can't stand these cosmetic issues. Deal with real issues. Like, make sure the women have time off after they are pregnant. Make sure that we talk about pregnancy leave.
You see that? You notice that is not being spoken about, right?
No, let's talk about those issues. I don't care about whether you call her one thing or another. This way, I'd actually like to take Federer's answer to this, which is, as long as it's game, set, match. I don't give a shit.
That's rather funny that she's married to her dad. Well, she's married to herself, though, because she was always Serena Williams. It was just like, you know what?
Oh my God.
And in some cases, to be true, I just think Alex is just an accessory. Serena isn't one in that day. But you know what?
Oh my God.
I don't know. I don't know if it matters.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I think these feminists keep forgetting is that they're distracting themselves from the real issues and wasting time on this mess. So when they come with real issues, no one can take them seriously.
It's faux feminism.
Because no one can take them seriously.
It's also guys doing it. And I'm like, you ain't real feminist about this. So don't quit pretending that you can.
And you know who's leading this? You know who's going to be the spokesperson for this pretty soon, right? Andy Murray.
No, because I'm not saying it like feminists are horrible, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like a lot of faux feminist ideas get tossed into the mix, and I can tell that they're not real. Like, it's not real. This is a non-issue. A real care for women. It's not. It's like, ooh, let me bring up a controversial issue that's going to get people all riled up. Should it be Mrs. or Miss? What does this mean? I don't know. Is she paid the same? Did she get to
already? Like, they already settled that issue, right? And we shouldn't even need to talk about it because they get the same amount of money.
Well, but the thing is, if you change the name, like, I just don't know. Those things, they're just like, come on, I don't care. It's like when you have people with rainbow flags in a company that doesn't employ gay people. Like, that's a real issue. Cosmetically, it looks nice that your flag's there, but what's the quality of life behind the scenes? That's what I.
Are those people being treated fairly? Are they getting any time off? Proper appropriate time? I don't give a crap about that. These people are real anyway.
All right.
Moving on. So I think we discussed anything. Oh my God. I just have a couple of church announcements to make. I'm just gonna say Marion Bartoli. Mm-hmm. Marion Bartoli is not invited to any function ever again. No.
No, we are about forgiveness though. She just has to come and prostrate herself on the.
She can come to your house after. She comes to your house. She can set up her lawn chair and she can try to call the police, but we are disconnecting her service. She's one of those girls. She's barbecue Becky. She's barbecue Becky. That's what it is.
Becky.
Kiki Burton's. I guess you're probably a lovely girl, but you'll no longer be singing solo in the church choir, okay, girl? Belinda Benchich is getting that spot. Just saying, girl. You don't do that to Venus. Sorry, on my watch.
Anyone
you just always be an enemy.
Kiki, nobody kicks Venus's ass at Wimbledon, apparently.
And unfortunately, the people expecting Maria Sharapova to be here. We had a drug test policy for you to come into our church. Sister Beatrice introduced that, and so Maria Sharapova is no longer with us. So that's all for the announcement for this week. Ladies, anything else we should know or care about to talk about?
Anything in the YouTube page?
What about the Hotman Cup? They say. Well, we have to get more information on that to find out.
We'll find out more about what we hear. There's a thought of it maybe going away, but in just to bring up money for the new World Cup that they want to try to do on the ATP side. We'll learn more about it.
Yeah. We have to learn. Yeah.
You see, ladies, youthful feminists out there, how about we talk about that, right? ATP World Cup shit ain't gonna have no women involved in that. How about we save our energy for that? How about we talk about that? We talk about Mr.
It's the men's tour.
It's a men's tour. Listen, recognize it's a men's tour and a women's tour. They're really different. I mean, I think the good thing about Hotman Cup was there was a moment when they were joint together. That's a real sad thing. I mean, we have so few opportunities for the men and the women to play.
Yeah, it's only 5 places you can play mixed doubles.
Yeah, that's sad. And in a fun, laid back atmosphere. That's really surprising.
Well, I guess all they had to do was just give that points, right? Just give it points, and that would have been fine. But no, we gotta be like, let's tear it all down. Let's get rid of it all together.
But anyway. I think Tennis Australia is doing all kind of moves. This is them, right? It's their thing.
Yeah, that's theirs.
And according to the fake pundits out there, it's all Roger Federer's fault. That's all.
I mean, that's going to be the thing. Everybody's going to say, "Oh, it's because they had to pay so much for him for the last couple of years," even though this was one of the few years when it was all sold out. However, we're gonna whatever. So, but we talk about the issue as to why that probably was. You know what I mean? Like this is what I mean. It's like I can't deal with these weird, easy arguments.
They're only coming for tennis corporations, but the ones that's really fucking and wrecking their lives in real life, they ain't got nothing to say about that.
Well, Tennis Australia is certainly making some moves. We have to ask some questions about that. I know Nick had some ideas about what was up with Tennis Australia.
And Bernard Tomic.
Yes, they did.
Let's just ask Bernie. Let's try to get Bernie. Anyone knows Bernie?
Yeah, Bernie. Could you come on and tell us what's making Tennis
Australia?
Australia?
I know you're secretly listening to us, Bernie. So why don't you come on and let us know
what's going on in Tennis Australia?
What's going on in Tennis Australia? Where's the money really going, Bernie?
All the tea.
How are they making these decisions? I'm just saying. Tennis is going right, and time for you to make a public announcement. A re-entry into the public, and be on good terms. And come on.
Oh, Realz, can we let you land? We'll let you land on your favorite gay tennis news.
Oh yes, I mean, I'm gonna be sexist here. I wish it were a man, but you know what? It can't be, because I want that to be me. I was so excited when Alison Van Uytvanck won. I was like, is the camera going to pan away and not show me her kissing her girlfriend? And there it was. She was kissing. There was strawberry on grass, and she was kissed. She hugged her coach first, and then she went and she kissed her girlfriend. And she was just like, you know what? I didn't have anything to be ashamed about. I'm just trying to show. There's nothing wrong with me. There's no sickness or affliction here. I'm good. My girlfriend is good. Okay. And it was so wonderful. It was so wonderful and so easy and breezy. And I'm just saying, ATP, where are the gays? I'm willing to lend my mouth. I'm willing to lend my body to be the sacrificial. You can kiss me. You can say it's a hookup. You can say whatever afterwards. But ATP need that moment. We need that moment. Come on, boys. Let's do this. Don't let the ladies win. Okay? Come on. You're all for equality. Don't let them win. Don't let them get more money on this front, okay? Try to get the gay money. Try to get the gay dollars, ATP. Let's get this one. Just saying. I'm just saying. Right. You get some homosexuals out in the stands and on the court. I'm telling you, ATP, you'll make money hand over fist. Just saying. Saying.
And I'd like to say, if the rumors about Simona Halep having a meal with Del Potro is true, how do they both decide who's gonna speak? No, you speak. I speak. Who's it? What? Anyway.
What?
Anyway,
see, you just turned me off right now. I can't get that image out of my head. I just can't get the image out of my head.
I'm giving gifts at the end of this church service. I'm just gonna say, Simona, be careful, girl. He's a heartbreaker.
And girl, get tested.
Stop it.
Tested.
Oh, stop it.
Stop it. Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, no, Simona, get condoms, okay, girl? Because don't get pregnant. Just saying, it happens on the WTA. Just haven't.
Stop it. You did so well, and then you just went there. Serial cheater, Simona. So, anyway, so careful with that one. Oh, check your boob.
Yes. Oh. Another reason you should hate Simona. Another reason you should hate Simona. And Daniel said, Mr. Prodigy said he's a dirty talker. Don't you realize that Muppet voice? Like, no, I think about Delta going into the meal, right?
Church service this Sunday brunch has gone into another story.
Oh my God, Cookie Monster in there. Oh my God.
I'm
Come
really
on, girl.
happy. I'm happy that not just Realz had his gay moment, but any gay person who feels you know, a certain kind of way seeing Allison come out and kiss her girlfriend. That's really good news.
I'm mad I missed it.
I missed it too, but I think somebody shared it on Twitter. So
it's there, girl. And I was so excited. I was there to watch it. I was just like, is she gonna do it? And the camera panned away. I was just like, these motherfuckers, I'm about to tweet this shit. Like, I want to see this shit. Because I was just like, I'm sure she's the woman who came out. I'm almost sure she came out and got married.
I will say,
and then sure enough, she hugged her coach. And then I saw this girl. I was just like, and you could tell it was genuine. It wasn't like Cersei, you know, and Rafa, where you couldn't tell where she's playing her role. But this girl looked genuine. That she was just like, I'm happy to be here. My girl, why? Yes. And then she went over and then she just like,
according to her, she's had no negative impact it has had no negative impact on her. And I think that's really great news. I will say though, that this does not actually push against the notions of sexuality for women in sports. It actually reinforces the contention that athletic women are lesbians, which is a horrible stereotype, but that is a contention. So,
it's much more accepted that we as a community can accept lesbianism, but we can't accept gay men in sports.
So, but you know, congrats to her. I'm happy to hear that she came out and at her job really, and there were no ill effects. So that's really good news for lots of people, I think. And good on her. Next time, hopefully you get a chance to make out again with your girlfriend because you.
Yeah, and you know what? I saw some poor lonely soul on Twitter was just like, I thought that was her sister. I was like, what? People,
they thought it was Kiki.
Being gay is not a rare thing. Okay, like it's normal. Okay. And usually sisters don't kiss themselves on the lips. Okay, I don't know which sister you've been watching, but this ain't Kiki and her brother.
Obviously, this church is non-denominational because we're preaching. Of
course we are. I mean, you got Realz head and shit up. Like, come on now.
We put Sister Beatrice in the closet right now. So
listen,
put a little tape over her mouth. She can't bring her judgment here.
You know she was feeling, you know. And you notice I'm surprised she didn't say shit about Donna Vekic, right? She didn't say shit about Donna.
No,
Donna
she's judging Allison. She is.
Sister Beatrice is very, very selective in her judgment. See, you know, but Sister Beatrice, I'm gonna let you know. You gotta go for Cole Schreiber because I saw a certain reporter was all I fucking him and he was trying to get a free touch and Cole Schreiber was just like, I'm not sure what's going on here, boo, but let's just, you know, do a high five. Let's, you know.
Oh,
girl, that was when I saw that report. I was just like, "Oh, girl, you are." Huh? I ain't calling no names. Okay, no.
Come on. Okay, fine. You can tell me offline.
All right.
I will certainly tell you.
Thank you. Final bids from everyone online. Tell us who's winning. Who's
winning?
Who's dancing together at the champions dinner?
Yeah.
Quick.
And while we're here, hopefully Serena girl.
Who say? What are people saying? All right.
Well, there's a delay.
Right?
While we're here, can we just say, Serena, if you win, could you stop doing your eyebrows with a rake and charcoal, please? Please. Just a pencil and a brush. A simple pencil. Okay? Pointed pencil. Nectar said Fed and Serena. I don't trust Nectar. Nectar always get these things wrong.
Okay, Fed and Serena. Thank you. Fed and Serena doing the dance. Who else?
Rodina and Delpo. Rafa and Serena.
Oh God.
From Bug Daniel, you know what? Vondrasova. You know what? You just now become Vondrasova.
I saw the Vondrasova thing and I was totally gonna say it, but I can't keep up with Daniel's names on Twitter anymore.
Oh, Delpo and Serena. That's
okay. All right.
Who else? Yeah, lovely drama girl. You know those eyebrows. You know those eye bushes are a hot mess. Vekic and Nishikori from.
Oh wow, that would be funny.
We're gonna see Stanley showing out. DJ Sama says Delpo and Serena.
Interesting.
Key and Serena too. You can't have more than one pick. DJ Sama. Come on. What you doing here? Key and Serena. I don't mind that though. I don't mind it at all. If there's any justice, Fed over Rafa.
As an anniversary present.
If there's any justice, it's Fed over Novak. But you know what? That's just me. That's just me. That's the kind of justice I want, because you know what? Federer don't deal with Rafa. That you don't need to deal with Rafa anymore.
Man,
but I know Deborah's still thinking about that 10th anniversary.
That happened. Who said that?
But why does it surprise more people don't think Rafa? Apparently, people don't trust Rafa on this surface.
Oh my God.
I don't know why. If he gets to the second week, he's
I don't.
good.
He lost in the fourth round last year.
No.
To
was it third?
Yeah, it was the fourth round.
Yeah, it was that Monday. Yeah, that Monday.
Yeah, it was a Monday afternoon. Ooh. He was one of the last matches up.
Yeah, that was a mess.
So yes, Deb, I know how you are. Trust me, you are the captain of the Federer petty party. Trust me, Deb. I know you hold a grudge.
Listen, she's a woman after my own heart. Deb and I are secret sisters. Woo.
I'm telling you, Deb will go out and help Merca cut any bitch in this world. She just said, "Merca, girl, I got."
Oh my God.
I love it. That's my fave.
I know. I love that. She is amazing for that. If there's any justice, Federer over Novak with a fluke return win on match point. Girl, but why this? I am not trying to put my heart through that kind of tension. Because you know, the fam gonna come up with some charts and say that Federer cheated the win. Federer got the win on his side.
Oh, so listen, so everybody's confident about Serena, right? That's all I'm hearing, except for Rodina to that week.
He just bitter because of Vondrousova. You know, someone now Hamas has Vekic.
Vekic? Do you know what? What a shock that would be. Whew. That's a legit
it won't mean anything.
Would that be more shocking than Ostapenko at RG? That would be a legit shock, honestly. Legit.
You know what? Vekic would definitely bring the popularity and celebrity tour to it. She would definitely get a lot of publicity out of it. So, hey, help the women's tour.
No, I don't think the women need any more help. Man.
I maintain that loss to Muller was because he bumped his head with his jumping thing.
That's true. Don't jump more, Rafa.
So we should pray for a slip and fall, bug. Why this is that what you're saying? We should pray for a slip and fall.
How dare you?
Oh my God! Well, for me, it's not Serena. Okay, God, she's gonna be a dull winner though. Yeah, I won.
Nah. Well, let's hope. Fingers crossed. The next time we all talk, it's gonna be Sunday. And we'll either be having a party or we're gonna be real upset.
I know it's true. There's no in between for us. There will be no in between.
Oh gosh, it's gonna be a funeral or a week.
You know what? It's time for Janina to be right again. So you know what, Janina? What say you? Who's gonna be the champion come Sunday?
Federer.
Okay.
And
Serena.
Okay.
The classic.
Music fan roll up in here just for the last minute prediction. Federer and Serena, he said.
All right. The classic.
I'm here for Federer and Venus, but you know Venus decided not to show up. Show out. I would have to say Serena. I'm gonna have to say Venus and her win again. So you know.
Well, take care.
Andreen, who do you pick?
I'm going with the classic, Federer and Serena, as well. Okay. I know. I'm going with my heart, not my head. Apparently.
2009 and 2003 Wimbledon all over again, and 2012 Wimbledon.
Oh shit, that'd be great. Actually, it would be really great if the two goats won. It would be ridiculous. It'd be really.
It won't help the narrative that we're trying to help. You know, like more men need to win, but hey,
but who cares?
We didn't say that we want everything just in the world. We just there should be more.
I'm prepared to promote that when Federer's not in the final. Come on,
I'm prepared to suck it up if it's Delpo and Serena though.
I don't know where I'll be having that podcast because I won't be hosting one. I'm just letting y'all know. If Delpo wins, there would not be a podcast on Sunday.
Don't worry.
Y'all have to go on the old. Y'all gonna have to have an old podcast. Okay, go over to O's house and enjoy that. I would listen. I won't be that bitter. I would listen and comment. So y'all better make sure that it happens.
It will not be a podcast if it's Delpo and Kerber. I'll tell you that right now. So,
we're gonna skip that session.
Oops. Another Wimbledon lost in the timeline. like 2013. They're just like, oh, that never happened. What? And 2014.
All right, we gotta go.
So have a good day, folks, and thank you all for listening to our podcast. And catch us on iTunes and Podbean if you missed us live session. Have a good day and hope you enjoy the brunch.
Bless
Alrighty
you.
then.
Bye, sister.